It has been a while. It's been a minute or two, and we're back on the server. We're back on Hermitcraft, which means I can continue working on Decked Out. Now, unfortunately, I have not had much time to work on this just mega project because of all the things, the crossovers and the create mod and all the things. But that is all about to change today. We are going to make some just absolutely incredible progress on this game today. For unfortunately many months now, we've had level 1 of Decked Out just completely done and kind of ready to go. We focused on some redstone. We got the clank system in, the main bus line. We got the heartbeat system in, all kinds of new stuff was going on. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to the channel and I'd say the last 3 or 4 months and have no idea what any of this is or what Decked Out is, you got some catching up to do. But I'm itching, guys, and I'm pretty sure you are too. You want more. I want more of the dungeon, and that is exactly what we are going to do. Today, the bar is set extremely high. We are going to fill, I'm hoping we are going to fill all of this area with level 2 of Decked Out, the Caves of Carnage. Okay, now that we've got the appropriate Christmas cozies on, I'm ready to get to work here. We have so much to do today. We must go. But I also gotta say, and you can probably hear it in my voice, the reason this video took so long to get out is because I was horribly sick last week. You can probably still hear it. I'm still a little bit nasally, but we are powering through and I am excited. All of this is filled with the resources. There's about 6 or 7 hours gathering resources for the build we're about to do today. So we've had level 1 of Decked Out for quite some time and it's looking good. It is the frozen crypts. I love everything about it. I love the vibe, the feel, the frozenness. We've still got to add some little traps and stuff. These are where the clank detectors are. We're gonna hide those up eventually. But toward the back of the room here, this final room back here just absolutely looks incredible, and it has 2 exits. We have an exit right here, and we have an exit over here on the other side as well. Right here. Both of these are going to lead down to the Caves of Carnage level 2. And there's going to actually be 2 entrances to the level 2 area. One in that corner and one in that corner. And there's going to be a maze of corridors, different themed areas. We're going to have a lava area, a mushroom area. We're going to have a giant lake in here, possibly with a Goonies boat. And eventually the player is going to have to make their way all the way into the back. It's going to be kind of right around where I'm standing. This will be the exit from level 2 down to level 3. And it's going to cut through all this here, but you can see right over here, level 3 is down there. So if I'm perfectly honest, I really have no idea how I want to connect from here down to level 2. It's probably just going to be a staircase or something like that. It's going to be an area where the Ravagers can't get to. It'll be kind of a safe area of the transitions between. I think that's fine, but we're going to leave that for another day. I just want to get started on level 2. So let's make some stuff. This is a lava themed area, magma themed area. We're going to go in here in a second. It is very dark in there because I haven't actually lit it up. We got some torches and stuff in there. Those are coming out. We're going to add in some lava lighting, of course. But what else? We've got, this is going to be like one of the main entrances here. This is one here. The other one is all the way down at the other end over there. So there's kind of an open little foyer area in here. There's going to be stairs going up there into another area leading into the spider den, and then down here is going to be just a magnificent area leading into like a very colorful mushroom forest. It's going to be a little bit more open down here, but we'll get to that one probably next. What I need to do here is get the finishing touches and get the lighting in for the you can hear my heartbeats going there. The bats keep turning on the heartbeats for the clank detector or something. I don't know. I gotta figure out why it's doing that. We're gonna have lava in every area here, so I'm gonna need a lot of lava actually, and I want to have it. It's gonna be very dangerous down here. But the important thing now is that we make it Ravager proof. Level 2. Just like level 1, the main enemy is Ravagers, okay? Level 1 and level 2 are Ravagers. Level 3 and level 4 are going to be the Wardens, which I know everyone's waiting for. So I want to finish doing this guy out here, and what we're going to do is have, like, the lava's going to be like this, but you see these little, like, pillars here, that makes it so that because the Ravagers are just about 2x2 blocks, they'll just run right across this pool. They don't even see a problem here. They just run right across this with no problem. And that's what we're doing with all of them. We got like some chains here they can run across, and some of these pillars, like I said. So this area here is going to be kind of terrifying because the player is going to have to go very slow and decide how to navigate all these lava pools. There's going to be some over here that are just kind of like smaller and stuff. Like this one here is going to be shaped like this, like that, and like that, and that's it, right? That's the whole lava pool right there. Obviously, a 2x2 Ravager just can't fit in there anywhere, but it provides yet another little hazard for the player who's walking around. And they got to be careful because there could be little parts like this where you could like dip your toe in like that. There might be parts where there's soul sand and stuff that actually lowers you in. I hope I don't die here. Okay, all the lava is in, and remember now, like this is going to be somewhere in this corner. I don't know what it's going to look like, but somewhere in this corner is going to be the first entrance to level 2. And let me show you what we got going on here now. It is precarious, to say the least. The amount of lava around here, you gotta dodge things. There's pools everywhere. This area is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But this is the general theme here. We got a lot of just dark blocks, very dark everything, and the Ravagers just popping around the corners here are gonna be terrifying, I think. The other entrance is gonna be right around here, somewhere where this hole is, somewhere in this corner, I'm not sure. So quite a ways distance from the other one across the entire area. You can either come in here or come in down there, and then there's like generally 3 ways out of here. There's a little passageway that leads down here into more darkness and kind of goes to a dead end. There's going to be some functionality down here that will leave us a little surprise, and there's a 2 block wall here. So if you get jump boost, you'll be able to hop over this wall and get to what's on the other side, which will definitely not be lava area. But yeah, like I said, there's going to be a lot of like dead ends everywhere and stuff that seemingly don't serve any purpose right now, but later on they absolutely will. So over here, and then there's another tunnel that's going to kick on this way. Ow. And one more tunnel. Let's see if we can get to it over here. Yes, another tunnel will be leading down this way. So really there's like 4. There's the jump, there's that one, there's this one, and then there's the area over there, which is going to lead to the mushroom. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's hot in here. Oh no, you're not allowed in here. Yeah, okay, where is, oh yeah, okay, I gotta be super careful with the spawn locations in here. Gotta light them all up. Where's my glow lichen? Glow lichen solves everything. It's the best block they added to the game. Okay, so I want to start now on the mushroom forest. This is the most complex, probably the hardest area to build, but it's going to be a big area here. It's going to go from here down to almost down to the beginning of that hole over there and a little bit some in the back. Huge area here, huge progress. This took forever to build this section. All right, so now we've got our lava area, which is looking incredibly dangerous and uninviting. We have this tunnel here, obviously not done. We'll get to this shortly. This is going to lead to some interesting things shortly. And then now down here, we have our mushroom forest. This is probably the biggest themed area that we have in level 2 now, and it's basically all these little shapes and little organic mushrooms everywhere. It's very dimly lit. We have a river coming down the middle, complete with little tropical fish everywhere and dead samples. The little stream, though, I like the little stream, goes down through the whole mushroom forest here, and it's got the pickles in there for a little bit of light, and it's got these little glass panes here so that the Ravager can just walk right across, can't get stuck in the river or anything like that. And then we just have these red mushrooms everywhere. Up here it starts like blues and greens and everything. Up here I got little turtle eggs here. They're pretty nice. Like, I need more of them though. I gotta get more turtle eggs. But then the blues and the purples give way to reds down here, and we have all these little like kind of red mushroomy little village area down here. We have this amazing like glass themed area, like something is kind of protruding through the rocks here. It looks really good. I love it. All the detail in this area, I think it turned out fantastic here. The river continues, and then it opens up here. We've got a couple of unfinished areas here. We've got this one over here is going to lead to a very special little area over here. This area is going to lead to a massive area. I can't wait to get to that one. This one here is a little inaccessible ledge, but I wanted to be able to have a little viewport up to the area up there. And then this is going to curve around here, and there's more. There's everywhere. But I'm super pleased with how this area turned out. The mushrooms and everything just feel very organic. Some of them are just like grown out of the walls and stuff, you know, and who knows? Maybe there's a parkour challenge in the mushroom caps themselves. Overall, though, I think this area is going to be fairly dangerous. It doesn't have the immediate and obvious danger that the lava area has, but there's going to be a lot of spirits hidden inside these walls. We'll just say your return passage through the mushroom forest may not be so welcoming. So I think I want to just keep on going. We got this tunnel here, which I'm excited to do. We have so many extra ones down here. There's even, where is it? This little sharp corner here that goes around a little narrow corridor and goes into like all kinds of twisty turns back here. And of course, we have the corridors coming out of the lava area. We have this one there. We got that one there. We got the one all the way down at the end over there. They're going to all start intertwining and connecting at certain points. And I think I want to just get a good bulk of all the tunnels done right now. After much time, we've made some massive progress here on level 2 of Decked Out. I don't even know how to show you guys. Where do I even get? I guess we'll go to the beginning where we drop in many new corridors and caverns to show you. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am, guys. This is good. I'm loving the way that this level 2 is turning out. We've got the mushroom forest down there. We've got the lava themed area. We got this area here that leads up to the spider den. We'll show you that in a second. Let's see. Let me go down here and we'll show you some of the new areas that we've got in place here. Now, I want to stress that a lot of these caverns, everything is still very gray. I'm probably going to add a little bit of a color pass. It's all intentionally dark. That's by design. I don't want to make it brighter. But there's also, it's very much lacking like points of interest, you know, and that's all going to come later. Like for instance, this cavern comes down here, kind of into this big room here, and there's no real purpose to this room here. I mean, obviously, you know, to get eaten by a ravager is a nice thing, but there'll be more things, right? Maybe I'll poke a hole in the wall here and add a little thing, or who knows, right? Little side quests will be in here. But we got this little underside under the bridge overlook with a little fenced off area there. We'll show you how to get up there in a little bit. And then this from here continues down into what I call the bridge room here. Loving this room, loving the shapes and everything with the kind of big stalactite things hanging from the ceiling and everything. This bridge is very important though. I'll show you the only way to get up there is from there, and it leads to an area over there that's kind of special. I'll show you that in a second. But this loops around here again into more open caverns, connects back to the mushroom forest. There's a little dead end down here. But these rooms are great. These little dead ends like that are great because this is a great spot. I can almost guarantee you there will be an artifact location in this room down here. Heading back through the bridge room, it opens up here. And again, guys, if you have ideas for how to decorate these caves a little better, what you think it needs, like I'm thinking it might need some vines or something. Who knows? A little bit of color, but I don't want to go too overboard. Like I don't want there to be vibrant flowers and all that stuff. Maybe some bushes or leaves in various places, but those things wouldn't really grow in a cavern either. So who knows? I may just leave it just the way it is. But anyways, this opens up here into one of the many openings. This is an area here, this massive area. We're going to build this today. This is going to be a giant underground lake. We'll talk about that in a second here, but this is one of the entrances or exits, I guess you could say, to that lake. Then the cavern over here continues into another room that like a seemingly dead end room. Again, almost definitely be an artifact location here. But there's also like this wall here, right? This too high wall. If you have jump boost from one of your cards, you'll be able to hop right over this wall and skedoodle your way right back to the exit. So I really want jump boost to be something desirable. And if it turns on, you know that I can make a break for it and I can bypass a lot of dangerous content by just simply jumping over certain walls in certain areas. So this is one of them right here. And then of course we got beacons, right? I gotta move all my beacons. Poking through the dungeon, unacceptable. Place is huge though. This place is huge. I got more to show you, more we've been working on at the back of the mushroom forest now. Right here, this leads into the lake we were just talking about. That's gonna be another entrance to it. Right here though, little dangerous, little dangerous parkour trap we're gonna have right there. And then over here, I build the crystal caverns, a small little cavern here with all the little, you know, the crystals and everything everywhere. I kind of like this, kind of like a little magical feel to this area. There's some secrets in here that we won't go into, but there'll also almost definitely be an artifact pickup in here, probably marked in the corner over there. We'll see. And then we got this area here that kind of looks like it just dead ends. And this is going to be a future expansion. Who knows? Maybe I'll bust out a wall down there, and that'll be one of the entrances to the black market or something. Who knows? Future expansion there. Maybe go under the water into a little secret cave. Who knows what'll be down there? The mushroom forest continues up from down there, loops around this little tiny corner, and this is dead ends into the fenced off area. Now, again, if you have jump boost, you could hop right over this wall, like I do right now, right? I have it right now, and jump down there, maybe bypass, you know, a ravage or something, or you can just come up here and scout out and see what's in there. Maybe there's ravagers in there and you want to know where they are before you head down there. And of course, there'll probably be an artifact pickup up here. Heading back into the lava area now, there's another tunnel down here that leads into this wide flat area. I got ideas. There might be a trap or two in this tunnel. We'll see. But this leads to back to the bridge room, but now we are on top of the bridge. For some reason, I think this is probably my favorite room. This is just a central room and iconic to the whole dungeon, I think. We'll see. But that leads over to here now, which gives you an overlook to the mushroom forest. I gotta cap this off and stuff here so that you can't climb up here, or probably even make it so you can't drop down here as well. But I want, again, nice little overlook, a little scouting to see where the ravages are, that kind of thing. And then we got this fenced off area here. This will be a beautiful overlook to the lake that we'll get to in a second. But the most important thing here is this, right? I planned the location of this to go into this natural formation underneath the Caves of Carnage. And I've got some ideas down here. I think there might be a little secret, maybe a little minecart ride or something, maybe a quick way to get to level 3 or 4. Who knows what could be down here? Maybe we put the black market down here. Time will tell, but that's definitely going to be something important and valuable down here. And then back to the beginning, of course, we have this tunnel here that I just worked on, and this leads up into the spider den. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 cave spider spawners in very close proximity here. This was all planned from day one. When I saw these spawners, I was like, all right, we're gonna have a spider den and I have to wrap the caves through that. And it's about to happen now. So we're gonna change the texture up here, get a little bit darker, a little more ominous, and it's gonna kind of meander through these spawners, you know, dodging spider webs and stuff. We're gonna get to that in a second. So this is gonna be a challenging way to go, but also it might be slightly appealing because it might bypass certain other things. But at the end of the spider den, it's going to drop you off right here into these caves or caverns, getting even more organic, more earthy with the dripstones and the cave roots or whatever they're called down here. And it comes down here and it splits. One way goes right here into what will be the lake. And then the other side over here too, if you want to bypass the lake, this room took forever to make with all these things. You can get into this dripstone cavern room here that is going to be challenging to navigate, to say the least. It's a bit easy right now. I'm going to take some time and make it a little bit harder. We got the lava down there at the bottom of all these. Keep in mind now, the Ravager, they just walk right across these things because they're 2x2, so they don't have to worry about falling in. They'll just walk right across all these points. So if you're being chased by a Ravager through here, good luck. It might be interesting. But over here, I mean, I got the Elytra, so it's easy now. That little dead end here, there'll almost definitely be an artifact I hide over here, but I like this room as an alternate if you want to skip the lake. Now, speaking of the lake, so we got 2 more things I want to do today. We got to do the spider den, and then we're going to do the cavern lake. This is going to be a massive underground lake cavern. We're gonna have a boat in the middle of it. It's gonna be very inspired by the Goonies here, for those of you who've seen that old movie. But this area is gonna be it's gonna have so much character. I'm super excited. We got entrances there from the mushroom forest. We have an overlook up there. We have an entrance there and an entrance right there. All are gonna lead in here. I think, well, we'll talk about that when we get here. So let me, so much to do. Let me get doing the spider den and then we'll get over to the lakes. We finished. We've got the builds done here. Well, as far as I'm going to take it today, there's going to be more detailing work, but let me show you what's going on here. We got the spider den here. I just kind of threw some spider webs in here. They're gonna move around. I'm gonna make it a little bit better, but we got torches here because I don't want anything to spawn on me, of course. But here's the deal, okay? You enter the spider den and it's all black and gradients up to the ceiling and everything. I like this. This right here is a shortcut that you can take. If you have jump boost, you could just lower down over here and pop up over here, which Oh, I could do because I had an elytra, I guess, there. But it's just a little quick way to bypass all of this nonsense over here, where you have a very good chance of getting stuck in the cobwebs. And again, I'm probably going to make this even more challenging. But meanwhile, while you're doing this, the cave spiders are spawning. Like, there's one spawner right there. There's another one right behind this block, right in there. You can see it glowing there behind the wall. And the last one, let me get over here. We'll skedoodle through this stuff over here. Hop up on this. The last one is in this pillar right here. And I kind of covered this up here, so you got to go around this side here. It's a nasty area. People will die here for certain. But anyways, once you make it through the spider den, there's just like a cliff here, and it drops you into the next cave. But there's some vines here. You can climb down the vines. I really like this for some reason. It feels very Indiana Jonesy right here. I don't know, with the vine thing. Yeah, I kind of like it. And then we have the lake. Well, it's done, except there's no water. So I wanted to show you what it looks like without the water. We have this massive cavern here. Again, we're gonna have a boat back here, and the boat's gonna have some pirates in it that might shoot you in the face. But yeah, I just love this area with the vines hanging down from the ceiling and everything. It looks great. We have these two pillars here, there and there, and you can see there's this little slit in there. That's gonna hide some evokers. There is so much to explore in here, though. I mean, well, you know what, let's put the water in first, and then we'll do a little exploration. Here we go. Leaving the mushroom forest, we now lead into the underground lake, and this place looks creepy. I like it. I'd say I'm about 85% happy with how this turned out. I think once we get the boat in here and stuff, it'll drive a focal point. We'll put some lights on it, and it'll really, you know, catch your eye in here. This place looks incredible, I think, but it needs a little bit of detail or something, like in the walls or something. Just points of interest, and that stuff will all come over time. But let me show you what we got going on here. There's a lot of like little, and by the way, I'm gonna do something, I think, where this right here isn't gonna be flat. This is gonna be a much more challenging parkour thing, or something like a drip leaf thing, I think. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is find a way to give the players boats so they can actually boat around this lake. Obviously, I got to worry about how do the boats get returned and stuff like that. But I think it'll be fun to have a little boating exploration. But there's all these like little alcoves here, like little places to explore, little places for me to hide other things, little places for me to hide artifacts down these little dead ends and things. I think I kind of like it. Now, unfortunately, I think what I'm going to need to do is restrict the Ravagers from coming in here, because we had a little tiny lake in Decked Out 1, and it in itself was a problem. The Ravagers got stuck in the water, and they just like, oh, I can't get out. They're just basically idiots. So I think what we'll probably do is, like, all these caverns that enter in here, we'll probably close, make it just so that the Ravager can't fit his butt through or something like that. But that means we obviously need a threat in the water here, and well, I mean, I think 5 or 6 trident wielding drowned would be just perfect in here, don't you think? Remember this room here with the overlook into the mushroom forest here? Look at this. Look at this overlook now into the lake. I think it's just gonna be a great view of the boat and everything. But the way this works now, if I get a jump boost, nope, I can't get over. Hold on. The way this works now is the way to get out is over here. It's not done yet. It's late, and I'm tired. So this is the... Cool. Yep, it's that time of the morning. Anyways, there's 2 ways to get out of level 2. You can cross the dripstone area here, and right up here will be an exit. It'll go down there to level 3. The other way, and the more common way, is the back corner of the lake over here. So basically, you come in over there, you come on over there, you hop over the fence. Who knows? There's a lot of ways to get in here, and you can exit out right there. This room right here, this is not done. This is going to be, where is it? You guys remember? Do you remember the little drop area from level 1? This is where it's going to come down, but this will be extremely dangerous. And one of the issues I've had while working on this mega project, I mean, I don't even want to say issues, but one of the, I guess, inefficiencies, if you will. One of the things that's been kind of stumbling me a little bit is I've been kind of just working on little pieces here and there of decked out, like, oh, I'll go work on this thing over there, and now we'll do some building, and then maybe we'll do some redstone. And I want to change that. I want to change how I work on this game. Instead, my goal now is to get to the minimum viable product, the MVP, if you will. I want to basically say, hey, I'm playing decked out. And as soon as I can't play decked out, I'm going to do the thing that is preventing me from playing decked out, the minimum viable product. And to me, that means I want to be able to put my shulker box into the thing. I want to go into the dungeon. I want to get a compass. I want to explore the dungeon. I want to find my artifact. I want to bring it to the exit. I want to maybe, I don't even know if the end shop is part of the minimal. I want to get out of the dungeon, and then from there we'll just start adding more. So what this means is we need to start from the beginning, okay? The entrance to decked out, Deep Frost Citadel. I mean, we're gonna get to building some of that someday, but the flow, right? You come into the game, you claim one of these rooms here in this amazing great hall here. You come up here with your key or whatever it is, and then this, right? This, I just kind of scrub this garbage in right here, and I want to start making this a little bit more realistic. Like, I think the idea is you put your key there, it opens the door, you come in here, you sleep in the bed, you open this door here, you put your shulker in the thing, and then you take what I think is going to be a minecart ride. Because to get from here down to here, well, that's a process. That is a process that we need to fix. And I think what I want to do is have a minecart ride that kind of comes through here and drops you off right here. To get from here all the way up to the surface, we're going to have them take a minecart ride down through some ice tunnels and everything, and it boops them off, and then boom, right here. And maybe like some ominous sound plays as they're about to begin their adventure. And here we go, little update. I kind of did some of the, this is nothing right here. I want this to be much more, like I'll probably put like a big archway and make it all evil looking and stuff, but that's probably gonna come when I do the shop and I've got to do this whole interior here. But I did do the inside of this now. So here's the process, right? You put your key in, and then this door will probably just open automatically. There probably won't be a button here, but you go into this first room here, okay? Let's see here. You got a bed to sleep in. Sleep in the bed, remove all gear. I put a couple of chests here that can both be opened here. And that should probably be Skulk up there. Yeah, this is basically like your pre-room where you take off all your stuff and get ready and stuff. This right here, exit only, this is where you will come out. So there's no way to get through this door this way. It's an exit only door. This is where you'll come out after a successful run. When you're down in the dungeon and you leave the dungeon and you go to the little post shop and you spend your embers and stuff and you come up here, the minecart will drop you off inside there and you'll be able to come out here. Right here now, shulker deck will be in barrel when run is over. This is something that took a little bit of thought because there's two ways to end the game. There's a successful run where you take the minecart ride back out and you come out here, and then there's the I died. You know, the Ravager ate my eyeballs. And when the Ravager eats your eyeballs, I need to know right away. So I think what I'm going to do, it's not there yet, but I think I'm going to put a skulk sensor right below here, hooked up to a shrieker or something, so that I can tell when a player enters this room. And essentially, anytime someone enters this room, the game is off. The game is not on. So the first time you come in, it'll detect it, and that's fine. The game's already off, right? When you come out of here, the game will already be off because I can detect it much earlier. But it's really the case of when you die that I need to immediately turn the game off right there, because what I need to do now, this is different than Decked Out 1. Decked Out 1, right? Like, we would process your cards and your deck of cards was ready to go. I could return it to you when it was waiting for you when you came out. In Decked Out 2 here, the cards are still processing. Like, you might die and a card might have just been processed, and I gotta wait for that card to return to the barrel. I gotta package the shulker box up. I gotta send it all the way up here. So it may be a good 30 seconds before your shulker box is back here. So maybe I'll need a light or something. I don't know. To be worked on right here. But once you're all happy here, you go through this door here and then you enter this room here. This is obviously your shulker drop-off room here. Added a little bit of lighting here. There's a kind of an empty wall here. We may do something with this wall. I don't know, but there's a little bit of space there if necessary. But obviously the big thing here is you place your shulker deck against the lamp here, okay? And now, if this is working, like, we'll pretend this is my shulker deck of cards here. What should happen, if I did this correctly, is boom, boom, it eats your shulker right away. I don't like that you can kind of see through that, but whatever, right? It takes your shulker. Your shulker is now gone. It's gone on its way, and it's being sent down to the game. It's being shuffled. It's getting ready to go. Your permanent cards are being processed, that sort of thing. Over here now, we've got this card, this little guy that pops out here. You get in here, and there's a button. I may need to light this up a little bit more or something. And then you skadoodle on your way, and you go through here and stuff. We got a little bit of janky redstone in the back here, and you can see this is your shulker box, so it falls out right there. This will lead down, like I said, all the way down to the card processors that we built in the past here. You, however, will head down here. And this is going to be a rather interesting ice tunnel minecart ride. And I want to do a couple interesting things here, and you can see we already got some redstone set up here. How's this going to work, right? You're going to come down this minecart track, and this is all going to be, you know, decorated and everything. The cavern's going to be much wider and everything. But you're going to be coming down this track right here, and everything's going to look like you're going to head into a room over there. But instead, you're going to hit this detector rail here, which you can barely see coming down here. You're like, when you're in a minecart, you're probably not even going to notice that little thing. But you come down here, and what's going to happen is it's going to drop you into a hole. Okay, I got a little circuit set up here, a little ABBA switch here, which is going to basically work these two sticky pistons here. This one's going to go first. This is the A. These are both 1 tick pulses, so it's going to pull the rail back, and then this guy is going to pull the ice block back that way. Now, I had to split these in different directions, because if I tried to pull them both in the same direction, the rail just popped off, and then I started making rail dupers, and we all know that ain't happening. So what happens is this rail essentially gets put over there, and then this guy gets put over there, and then oh look, a drop 40 blocks down. But the problem is that's not really enough. Just opening up a block like that, the minecart like sometimes fall down there, but most of the time it kind of skadoodles right across and gets stuck on this. So what I want to do here is, you can see I got 2 regular pistons here. I want to fire these guys, push over this way. This will push this block over here and the ice block there. And then now you have a nice flat surface for you to bump your face on and then fall down the hole. And then like a split second later, this will just push it all back. So I think we're going to have a nice little completely hidden minecart dropper operator here that is going to drop you down there. It's going to be kind of fun. Okay, it is time to reveal the first cards and begin talking about them. I'm incredibly excited. They're actively being developed like minute to minute as I'm making this episode. I have 30 of them now, which is, I'd say 90% of the cards we're going to launch the game with. We'll see. Couple things. First, one, thank you so much to Moselbop, the one who has made all the artifacts, which I showed you guys long before. He's now making all the cards, doing an absolutely incredible job and being incredibly responsive to my all nitpicking needs and everything. So just thank you so much, Mosel. The second thing I want to say is ignore all the numbers you're going to see. Just pay attention to content, or like the concepts of the cards right now. Just the numbers are all going to change, the cost and everything. Some of them aren't even filled in, so bleh, it doesn't even matter. Okay, here we go. This is the style of the card. This is the first card. It is Sneak, and you can see we debated a long time about what style we want to go with, and this silhouette style here with a artistic style background really hit home, and I liked it. The people I talked to liked it. So here we are. This is the card, and now look, I gotta show you the back first of all. It looks amazing. You guys see the texture on the back? That's the decked outdoors on the back. Absolutely love it. And here we go. I'm gonna pop this guy in there. That is the first card. Okay, now there's some things to talk about here, right? The silhouette of the guy is obviously just the art. The background doesn't really mean much. The border, okay? There's 2 types of borders. There's this border here, which is kind of like the thinner border. That just represents it's a normal card. Some of the other cards, which you're going to see one now, is a permanent card. And if you guys remember, the permanent cards are the ones that are played immediately and their effects stay in effect throughout the entire course of the game. So regular cards right here, right now they have this little icon here. That's probably going to go away, I think. But normal cards just have this thin border. Now, there's also 3 colors of the borders. There's gray for common, green for uncommon, blue, I think, yeah, blue for rare, and purple for legendary. Okay, we're trying to iconify and colorize a lot of the effects in these cards. So this is a very basic card here called Sneak, and all it does is it blocks 1 clank. Okay, that symbol right there, that's the blocks clank symbol, and you can see the number 1 on it. So when you play this card, it will block the next clank that you generate. This number down here, this is the cost. This card, you know, I just threw in temporary numbers. 7 embers, the blue with the little drippy thing, that's the frost ember icon. Remember, frost embers are things that drop throughout the dungeon as you're exploring, and they're very valuable because they allow you to purchase these cards at the end of the game. And also, as a reminder, The artifact you're getting is where you get most of your embers. So if you get your artifact and you make it out, you trade your artifact into the shop at the end, you get a ton of embers plus whatever other embers you found throughout that dungeon run. So there we go. That is card number 1. Card number 2, I'm showing some of the basic cards right now. This one is Treasure Hunter, another common card. Okay, the art is just so good, so good. And this one drops 4 coins somewhere in the dungeon. Again, ignore the number 4. That number may tweak based on how effective this is and stuff. But essentially, this is a card that when played, it will release coins into the dungeon for you to try to pick up. Because coins, you can take them to the shop outside the dungeon and buy things outside the dungeon run that improve your next dungeon run. Aren't these just amazing? I absolutely love them. Okay, third card, we have Ember Sense. Okay, obviously Frost Embers. We're talking about, you know, what was I talking about? Oh, Frost Embers. We're talking about cost, how good Frost Embers are, how important they are. This one will drop 2 Frost Embers in the dungeon for you to try to find. So it's very similar to Treasure Hunter, except it does Frost Embers instead of coins. Other than that, they're kind of the same concept, but again, Frost Embers are going to be way more valuable. And then card number 4, this is our first permanent card here, okay? What I'm doing is to control the difficulty of the game. You control the difficulty of your run by what cards you put in your deck. And there's some of these permanent cards. You see this icon right here with the little stairs and the number 5 next to it? That stairs represents a value that I'm calling delve, like a dungeon delve or a deeper delve. It's basically your difficulty. The higher this value in the sum of your deck, the lower your artifact will likely be in the dungeon. So this is going, you know, you start out with like a 0 delve and your artifact will probably be right up on level 1 somewhere. But as you start adding cards that have this delve value in it with the stairs icon, you're going to get artifacts that are lower and lower in the dungeon. But to go deeper in the dungeon, first of all, it's going to be difficult, but it also comes as a cost. This one is going to generate 1 clank when it's played. So you're going to, and because permanents are played right away, that clank is going to be generated right away before you even enter the dungeon. But it allows you to go deeper and get more artifacts that you can hand in for more Frost Embers. Okay, there we go. That is wave 1. We have many, many more cards to show you, and I can't wait. Okay, I have been busy. The ice tunnel is done. It looks amazing. But before I show that to you, we had to meet up with a Mr. B Double Doinker because he is going to do a build for us inside Decked Out. There he is.
Hey!
How you doing, Moss Man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I am excellent. I'm excellent. Are we here for a little business, I hope?
It is a business meeting. Absolutely 100% yes. No friendship, pure business.
Of course not. Yeah, down to business immediately.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you know why you're here, right? I need something built, and I'm trying to farm out some of the pieces to some of the talented builders on the server.
Oh, okay.
So if you know any, just have them come on over here and let me know that I'm looking for some help. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to Scar. Great meeting.
Thanks, I appreciate it. No, you. I need you. All right, you ready?
Okay.
You got your rockets? All right, follow me. It's a precarious flight.
Rockets. Oh, great.
You made it. You made it. Okay. I don't even know if I have a way in here yet or something. Here we go. Right here.
Dude, you have done a lot.
There's been a lot of work done. Yeah. A lot of work has been done. Yeah. Level 2 is completely built.
Is this because people are saying, oh, Decked Out should be done soon?
It's because I'm saying that. It's because I'm saying that. Because I started this project. Yeah, I started it like, was it 5 months ago? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes. You know, with the crossover and holidays and time linger, I gotta get it done. I gotta do.
Yeah.
So
that's true. We all know good food takes time.
This is true. Yes. Yeah.
And this is gonna be a good meal.
I hope so. All right.
Yes.
Are you ready for a little? I'm not gonna show you the whole thing because you're a player here.
Sure.
So you know.
Yeah.
You come over there.
I'll close my eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Down through the mushroom forest.
Hello now. It's beautiful.
A little crystal cave over there, and then here. This is the focal point of the whole level.
Ooh.
This guy right here. The idea now is, and we've had this conversation before, and you disappointed me, right? You've never seen the Goonies, have you?
No.
And end the video. End the video.
Oh,
Okay. Yep.
no.
No. It's fine. It's fine. You should really watch it. I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic.
I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it before I do this.
At the end of the movie, at the end of Goonies, they discovered this, this underwater, this underwater lake, just like this. And
Sure, yeah.
yeah. There's nothing weird going on here, right? At all, yeah.
No.
They discovered this underwater lake, and there was a boat, like a pirate ship, in the back of the lake, and it was kind of like, it was a big important part of the movie. Anyways, I want to have an old kind of pirate ship back here. I'm thinking.
Ooh.
Now let me see. Let me scope out a little area here. There's not that much area here, right? So let's see.
Right.
Like that could be the front of the boat, and the back of the boat could come like over wherever, somewhere like this.
Still good size.
It's decent. It's decent, and you should have the height to go. Feel free to go pretty close to the ceiling and stuff.
With some masts and stuff.
Yeah, the works. I only have one little request, is that one, you can get onto the boat and maybe explore it. Okay. That would be good.
Okay.
So if they're like little rooms, I know again, space is tight, but if there's little rooms or something like that, that'd be great.
Okay.
And then the front of the boat, somewhere around here, it would be ideal, not necessary, but ideal if there were like little trap doors that I could redstone control and flap down, and behind them are little skeletons. Deceased pirates. For those wayward travelers that think they can just swim right by the boat.
Okay. I think this will be great. This is I think we can do kind of like a Disney trick in here as well, where we do a little forced perspective thing.
I love it. And yeah, it goes without saying, free reign, the whole room, the whole dungeon, and anything you want to tweak or whatever is your palette. You do what this is just the beginning of this room. If more needs to be done, that's great. If not, if it's just the boat and the boat looks great, so be it. Whatever you want. Okay.
I don't know what else I could do in here. It's beautiful. It looks really nice. The vines hanging down, gorgeous, beautiful. A little bit of light here and there, a little glow. Very ominous. All it needs is a ship in the middle.
I think so. I think you might be right. Yeah.
Now, question.
Okay.
It's sunk. It's a crashed ship, right?
I mean, I hadn't thought about that. I had assumed it would be floating, but if you think there's a good way to do it as crashed, I'm open to that.
Well, I'm just thinking if it was like if it's a sunk ship, then maybe it's a little more submerged underwater. Yeah, there's some options.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to visualize this and have a hard time as well, but it could solve some of the redstone problem
because it's actually on the bottom of the lake. Yeah.
Yes, and you could have part of it is underwater. Where they got to go underwater to see.
I like it. And the floor here, if we need to, we can lower the floor a little bit. That kind of stuff too. There's flexibility.
Yeah, freaking right, dude. All the redstone around here, one poke in this, and it's over.
No, there's no redstone below here yet. There will be later, but yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super excited. No rush. Whenever. Like this could be done at your leisure.
Well, I mean, the game's going to be done next week, right? So
that's what I've been told. Yeah. You got about 5 days until the launch of Decked Out. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just kidding, everybody. Yeah. Disclaimer, that was a joke.
Not even close.
Okay. My bill will be in the mail.
Wait. I thought we had an arrangement or something. Wasn't there some kind
No, not for the ship, the friendship bill.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'll continue paying my monthly fee for that.
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah. Doesn't come cheap. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Paid friend. Time for more cards. Here we go. And I'm going to run through some of the delve cards, all the delve cards, in fact, that change the difficulty of your dungeon, because they're all kind of similar. So we did one here. We did Curious Advance. That is the basic one. It only increases your delve by 5. After that, we have our first uncommon card, Deeper We Go. This raises your delve by 10, but you can see the side effect, the cost of it is a little bit more too. So it has, creates 1 clank and creates 1 hazard. That red with the exclamation point, that is your hazard symbol, and you can see it generates 1 hazard. So you're gonna, if you want to go deeper, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. The third one is called What Lies Beneath. As a reminder, permanent cards, you can only have a permanent card in your deck once. So if you want a total of, for instance, if you want to go to like level two, difficulty 20 or delve 20, right now you're gonna need like a What Lies Beneath and a Curious Advance. So you're gonna need a combination of these to get where you want to go. This one, goes up to 15, and you get 2 clank and 1 hazard generated. And then the final one, by the way, that was a rare card there with the blue border. This is a legendary card. It's gonna give you 20 delve, which is a huge value. That alone will probably take you to level 3 or have your artifact likely be at level 3. It's going to generate 1 clank, and then the effect here is on artifact acquired. So when you pick up your artifact, it will generate 1 clank right then. So that's actually not bad. You'll notice this is a legendary card and kind of powerful. I actually toned down, like it's actually less of a penalty. You really want this card if you're an endgame player, but notice right there, quest. You do not buy this card in the Frost Ember shop. You must complete a quest in the dungeon to attain it. And then the last card here, this again is another delve, but this one's a little bit interesting here, okay? This one is called One Shot in the Dark. It raises your delve by 10, which is the same as Deeper We Go. However, this card is ethereal. You see this little ghosty symbol up there in the corner? That means it's an ethereal card. And if you guys remember, ethereal cards, they're used once and then they're destroyed. You can only play them for 1 run. But you'll also notice that this one is bought with coins. And again, don't pay attention to the numbers. Just this is a card that you can buy in the shop. So essentially what you can do here is pay a little bit of a coins to have 1 dungeon go deeper than you would normally go, because maybe you don't have these cards. Maybe you've only got this card and this card, but you really want to try to get down to like level 3 or 4. You can buy this card. It'll probably be very cheap, but you could buy this card and for 1 run get a much deeper delve value. Then let's just keep it going. We got a lot of cards to get through here. Here's some more permanent cards. We've got Stone Skin. Okay, this one, again, permanent card, so it's going to grant you resistance with a beacon effect for the entire run, but you cannot get any form of jump boost and any form of speed. Speed is great because it's great for allowing you to avoid things and make you run quicker, which in effect is going to lower your hazard. And jump boost is going to be very valuable. It's going to allow you to jump to places that are going to have unique rewards associated to them that you wouldn't be able to get to without that jump boost. But resistance, obviously very beneficial. It'll probably allow you to take another hit or 2 from a Ravager. We have a rare card, Haste. This one, straight up, just draws your cards quicker. I built this into the card processor knowing that I would want this card. If you have this card in your deck, it's a permanent. All your cards are going to be pulled quicker. So normally it might be like 30 seconds. It might be like 24 seconds or something. Again, I don't know what the numbers are, but it'll be probably 10 or 15% faster that your cards will be played. So this is great if you want to really have a deep run and a lot of cards in your deck. And we have an uncommon card, a Silent Runner. Every time speed activates, you block 1 clank. Obviously, huge synergy here with any cards, other cards you put in your deck that turn on that speed boost. Every time you put on that speed boost, extra clank block. So very interesting card to start building some interesting decks. I could see there being speed based or run based decks, which would be amazing. And of course, we have to bring back the Beast Sense. Guys, the art and these cards, so good. We got Beast Sense, and this is a permanent card now. I decided to make it permanent because I wanted its effects to be valuable. Every time you increase clank, every time you generate clank, 50% chance of turning on that glow effect to know where the nearby Ravagers are. So incredibly valuable. Again, Ravagers are on levels 1 and 2. Generating clank is a bad thing, but now you add a little bit of something good to it so that you can tell where the beasts are in your vicinity. And then we got a legendary card, a Glorious Moment. This one is amazing. When you acquire your artifact, immediately draw 3 cards and play them from your deck. This is insanely powerful. Obviously the cost, ignore that. It'll probably be incredibly expensive to get this card, but this is a good one, right? Boom, you get that artifact, you're deep in the dungeon, and 3 cards are immediately popped off and played. You're blocking clank, you're getting speed boost, you're doing whatever. Who knows? They're all going to be good, and it's going to help you get out of that dungeon with your artifact. Okay, let's keep it going with more cards. I love this one. It's an uncommon. It is a Swagger. Going into the dungeon with a little bit of confidence. When this is played, 5 Frost Embers will be dropped in the dungeon somewhere for you to pick up, which is incredibly valuable. But it's going to generate some clank, and that's what that symbol is. It will generate one clank automatically. So this is a give and take. There's a lot of cards that have this give and take. If you're confident you can generate some more clank, your reward is more embers will be there for you to pick up. This is a good one. This is a good one. Brilliance. Okay, this is a rare card. Whenever it's played, straight up, you just draw 2 more cards. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 here. This card in itself does nothing, but you get 2 more cards played. So you get, like I said, a 2-for-1 on this one. This is a great way to expand your deck, have a larger deck, and just really tear through the cards. Another uncommon, Skillful Retreat. Oh, the height might be a little weird here. Hold on. Okay, I had to get rid of the platform there for easier viewing. This one is Skillful Retreat. It's interesting. It's kind of a little bit of a gamble card. This one here says, with an artifact, and that is key. This card only does what it's going to do if you already have an artifact in your possession. If you do, it will block 2 clank and block 1 hazard. That is quite a bit, especially for a green card, an uncommon card. But if you don't have your artifact yet, in other words, if this card is drawn early, because again, remember, they're all shuffled. If this card is drawn early, it does nothing. Okay, the next 2 are very interesting and will appeal to the risk takers. This one is Tunnel Vision, okay? You can see it drops 8 coins into the dungeon. Again, I don't know the final value. It'll be quite a bit though. However, it discards the top card from your deck. So whatever the next card in your deck is, it's just whoop, it goes into your discard pile like it was never played. It's not destroyed, but it's not going to be played that game. And then we have even the riskier version. This one is crazy. Necessary Sacrifices. Okay, it is a rare card. It will drop, and again, 20 might be too much, but it's going to drop a ton of frost embers into the dungeon for you to explore. However, it destroys the top card in your deck. Okay, that is a huge risk. Whatever the top card is, it's gone. It's not coming back. It's not going to be in your deck. It's gone, and you don't know what card that is. So huge risk here, but the payout is potentially huge if you get lucky and this drops, a sneak or something super cheap. You're gonna totally make out, because the value here of what you're gonna retain is gonna be way more probably than the cost of a cheap card. However, who knows? You wouldn't want one of these destroyed. Keeping it going, we've got a Second Wind. Okay, the guy's taking a little breather there. This one activates speed and regeneration. Okay, the length at which that regeneration is active, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to give you a full heal or what, but putting those 2 on is going to allow you to really get out of the trouble wherever you are and regain some health if you've lost it. Pretty good stuff. We've got Bounty. Okay, this one is interesting because normally when you see this 2 coin icon, and we'll probably need to take this out to make it clear, but normally when you see that icon, it means it's dropping 2 coins somewhere in the dungeon. However, this card, when played, it just puts the 2 coins directly into the victory chest. The victory chest is in the room that you go to hand in your artifact at the end. So it's already there waiting for you. You don't need to find it. So this will be a smaller value, but it's guaranteed money if you succeed the run. And of course, we've got to have Flee with Extra Flee. I love this card. This one, again, if you have an artifact, it's going to block two clank and grant speed. So get you out of that dungeon quick. And I mean, we love the name. How about some Smash and Grab? This one, the icons are a little bit messed up on this one. That's okay. We'll get that fixed. But this one here, it's another one of those trade-offs. It's going to drop a lot of coins in the dungeon for you to find at the cost of generating 1 clank. Look at that art. So good. Okay, I can finally show you what I've been working on all day. Now, this is a crazy episode. We are all over the place here. I do apologize for that. But check it out, okay? I'm excited about this. The entrance to Decked Out is getting better. I showed you all this. You sleep in here, you do your thing, you put your deck of cards right there, and then what are these things? Minecart appears right there, okay? Boom, you sit in the minecart, and you know what? Let me show you with a better camera here of what you're about to witness. Okay, now let's do it the real way, and I did add, well, you'll hear. I added a little familiar sound to the ride. And check out, look what it just did. Activator rail through the corner. Oh, hi there. I'm not doing anything with the extra mine carts yet. We got to work on that. Come here. Where are you? Over here. But yeah, the tunnel comes down here and then boom, it drops you off right here in the dungeon with seemingly no way that you actually got in here and you're ready to start your adventure. The doors are broken right now, but there's a lot going on here, and I wanted to set the kind of the vibe of like you're descending into the earth, into the frosty cold abyss, really setting the mood for level 1, all this icy stuff. You fall down this huge like chasm, or I guess break in the earth here, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure. And let me show you what we got going on here. Like up here, it kind of opens up a little bit. I think I have some ideas, right? And if you guys are on the Twitch streams, you know what kind of ideas we're dealing with here, what I want to do. I might put something up here. I'm not sure. I intentionally opened it up a little bit. We may still terraform or whatever, but it opens up intentionally here. Just you know, we might do some things there. And then down here we might do something which I'm excited about. I got this little room back here. It's not done yet, but what I'm thinking is when you land, boom, right here. Obviously, this is powered. You're up against a solid block. You start going as you saw. However, I want to trigger that. Maybe there's a tripwire hook going across. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm thinking it'll be fun if there was a Ravager in a minecart right here. And the second you land and start going, he's right on your butt. He is right on your butt. And you can feel his snorts and his roars coming right at you. I think that would be fun, but I don't want to do it every time. I think I want to do it like 10% of the time or something. I want it to surprise you when it happens because you're not expecting it, kind of thing. And then at the end, the Ravager, of course, would just, you know, veer off to the side or something like that. I'm not sure. We'll figure that part out. He goes off and then recycles for another chance that it might, you know, encounter another unsuspected adventurer. But I really like how I reused you guys heard the audio, right? It's the same music disc we're playing from my nether tunnel, that icy tunnel. I figured what perfect sound, and icy wind caves blowing and everything. We got the lighting and everything just right in here. Obviously there's just like a ton of lichen everywhere, but it's all behind you. You don't even see it, and the lighting is just great down here. Love this ride. And of course the best part is that when the ride's done, you're just in the dungeon and there's no door, there's no retreating. You got to go. Back with more cards. We got a couple permanents here that we got. The first one is Healing Potion. Absolutely love the art on this one. It looks so good. This one's very simple. Grants a healing potion, grants a potion of instant health at the entrance. So right before you enter the amazing double doors, there will be a healing potion waiting for you on the ground. And this one, very similar. This one is a rare though, okay? This one, boom, suit up. Grants iron boots, iron pants, iron chest plate at the entrance waiting for you, but it is an ethereal. You get this card for one run. You're going to have way more armor than you normally would. This is the card you want to use if you're really trying to make a super run and you really want to go all out. Throw this in your deck, get a full suit of armor, and you're going to be much more protected. This one is one of my favorites. This is Vanish in a Puff of Smoke. This one is great, okay? Here's what happens. It is an ethereal, okay? That alone makes it, you know it's going to be good with the ethereal, but it removes all your clank. This essentially resets your clank to what it was at 0, basically no clank, and it blocks an additional, the next 3 clank it also blocks. Again, incredibly powerful ethereal. This is a one run only, okay? And it's from a quest. You're not buying this one with frost embers. You're gonna have to do something in the dungeon to get this card. And the last cards here, I've saved these for the end because they're kind of interesting. They introduce a new concept called focus. Okay, now focus it doesn't do anything. It's basically just a counter. Okay, so we got years of monk training. Shout out to the stream. You know what that's all about. All right, this one, all it does is it generates 2 focus. Okay, so that's it. Just generates 2 focus. Again, this is a quest item. That's a good card right there. It's a rare. Okay. Focus is something you want to accumulate because there's cards that build focus. Like here's another one here, Smarter by the Step. Every time you generate clank, 33% chance, again, that my number is probably going to change, Now, a 33% chance of gaining 1 focus. So you have your focus generators in your deck here. Another simpler generator here, Meditate. This card will be easier to come by. It's an uncommon. It generates 1 focus and also drops a Frost Ember, maybe a couple of Frost Embers, who knows, into the dungeon for you. Eventually, though, you're going to want to do something with all this focus you're generating, and we have 1 so far. There's going to be more coming. This one here is called Clarity, okay? This card here, for each focus that you've built up, it blocks 1 hazard and blocks 1 clank. And then your focus is reset. So it wipes it all out, but gives you some bonus. So you can see how there's obvious incredible synergy between these cards here. And you want to, you know, am I going to generate, how many closers do I want to put in my deck? How many generators do I want to, I don't know when they're going to get drawn. If we get the focus finisher first, that does us no good. So we want to try and strategically balance the deck to have the right amount of focus generation and focus like consumption and cash in. And again, there's going to be many more of these. There'll probably be more focus generators that'll also have sidekicks with other effects or something like that. But there's also going to be more focus closers that are going to do some pretty awesome stuff for you for each focus that you've acquired. And there you have it, guys. These are the official kind of wave 1 cards that we're gonna be launching the game with. I am incredibly excited by them. What I want to hear from you guys is, what do you think? What cards do you like? What cards do you think are too weak? What cards do you think are too strong? And again, you know, the numbers are all going to change, so don't jump to any massive conclusions, but I'd love to hear your feedback on some of the cards that really stuck out in your head of like, this is too good, this is too bad, this is great, or that's horrible. Any of that stuff, I'd love to hear your feedback. We are going to turn Deep Frost Citadel, this build here, this tiny little build, we are going to finish it off. I'm hoping we're going to finish it off. We're going to turn this thing into the massive... I legit thought I would be able to stop in time like that. We're gonna turn this guy here into a massive fortress. I'm gonna straight up say it right now. When this is done, this is going to be the best thing I've ever built in my entire history of playing Minecraft. Before we can even start building though, I need to gather supplies, and that is what this is. This is not a shulker monster. These are actually the supplies I'm starting to gather. All of this is blackstone. Most of this right here is deep slate. Not nearly enough of what we need. I need a ton of cyan wool. I need all the warped logs. I need a whole ton of polished basalt, but I need more. I need more than that. But primarily it's the blackstone, which we can get from piglin bartering. It's slow, but we can get it automatically. But it's the cobbled deep slate. I need this so much. It's one of the predominant block types in the build. We need just, I think, 75,942 shulkers full. So we got some resource gathering to do. I'm not digging this stuff. Come on. No. Instead, I put a little message out to the hermits, and it turns out Jevon's got some kind of super destructo deep slate digificator extraordinaire. I don't know. He's offering to get me a whole ton of deep slate, so we're gonna go try and meet up with him. Hello.
Yo, what's up, Tango?
Okay.
How you doing, homie?
I'm good. This is deep slate country here. Look at you.
Oh yeah. Okay, do me a favor. Tap the the note block. Just hit it with your hand.
You and your
Just hit it
flying
with your
machines. Flying machines frighten and confuse me.
Just hit it.
Okay. Whoa.
So all it does is just shoot TNT dupes. And voila.
Oh, it's dirty. TNT
Go pick it up
dupes.
though. It gives you like a stack and a half every time almost.
Okay.
It is kind of the best thing ever. I hear you're in the market for some deep slate, my man.
I need 700,420. Yeah, a lot. So I'm trying to stay organized here. As you know, the biggest time sink to any of these builds, especially builds with lots of blackstone and lots of deep slate, because there's so many block permutations. I'm trying to stay organized here to avoid the inventory management issue. So I've got all of my blackstone. I color coded all the shulkers here. They're all in black shulkers. I have all of my deep slate in gray shulkers and miscellaneous blocks here. I'll probably do more color coding here, like the cyans in the cyan box. The crying is in the purple bucket. So I should be able to just at a color glance be able to know what's in each chest here, because eventually all of these boxes, I got to bring them all up to the surface before we start the build. Before we get going on the build today though, I've been busy. I want to show you a little bit what's going on here in the dungeon, if I could find a way up right here. First thing is I finally got around to adding most of the roof to level 1. Let me pop in here and show you. Starting pretty much here all the way back to the beginning, we finally, clank. Quiet down. We added an icy roof to all of this now, so it's finally enclosed and mostly ready to go. Additionally, we have also finally put in a way to get from the end of level 1. You guys know this room is kind of like the end room of the Frost Crypts, whatever. What did I call this place? Frozen Crypts? I don't remember. Anyway, the way you get from here down to level 2 now. Hi, Scar. How you doing? We've added a little staircase here. It's actually not that little. That winds down, meanders down with a really nice, interesting, creepy palette. The lighting is just right with all the candles and stuff. And now this takes you all the way down to level 2. And we're gonna put like a little extra like framing here or something, I think. But we got this one here, and then we got this one over here. I'm probably gonna regret this. Oh, we made it. Excellent. Yeah, we added a little on stream. We added the smoke effects in here, which really adds a nice little vibe in here. It kind of makes it all a little bit more creepy, I think, which is great. And then we have these stairs here. I haven't added they're basically the same palette as the other ones, but I haven't added the roof onto this one. We'll get there soon, but I like it. So we have a lot of traps ideas, a lot of new things to do with hazard and stuff are going to be done in here. Very excited about all this. But the thing I'm excited about most, you guys have probably seen it, of course, because you're watching B-Dub's video. You are watching his videos, right? He finished off the amazing boat here. I mean, I cannot even begin to express how pleased and satisfied I am with this. He knocked it out of the park. Of course, as he does, the decorations in here are fantastic. But it not only looks incredible, it is completely functional. Got a captain quarters right here, which is completely all decorated. Cannons ready to shoot out the side complete with cannonballs. We got an area over here, which is reserved for some future pirates, I think, are going to go over here. And yeah, we had some fantastic ideas in the live stream about what we're going to do here. I don't know if this will be for release. I hope so. We're going to get a captain, we'll say, a pirate captain in here, and he's going to give you quests, and they're going to involve spyglasses and piratey things, and I'm super excited about all this. But yeah, having the boat in here is just incredible. It completely finishes up this room, makes it's definitely the focal point of this entire level of the dungeon. Absolutely love it, B-Dubs. Shall we take a tour? Let's take a tour. We're gonna do this on free cam because there is no other way to take in the sheer size and massiveness. Is that even a word? I don't know. Of this fortress. First of all, I am incredibly pleased with how it turned out. 5 straight days of placing blocks, probably about 50 hours straight. All I did was sleep and place blocks and eat, and we finally got it done. We even got the back done. We got it all done. I mean, minus the terraforming, of course, but that's going to be easy now. We're going to bring all this snow down to the ground and bring some stonework and everything and some cliff faces and everything. But like I said, that's easy. That's coming up. All right, so there's quite a few things I want to point out here and give you a little fly around here. This is the back right here. This is kind of that like entrance, but not an entrance. It's like I wanted to make it an actual like defensive position. I think when I terraform the terrain here, I'm going to put like a little path that leads up the side of the mountain. Just like a little backdoor entrance kind of thing, but there's like these little guard posts on the side here in case anyone unwanted is coming up. Well, you know, film through arrows or something like that. I don't know. But you follow this switchback up here into this little entry house here, and then you're in the castle proper here. Little staircases going up and around, and there's just so much to explore now. We have very distinct sections now. We have the outer walls, which I intentionally kept kind of plain with just smaller little towers there, and then the inner walls, very tall, very prominent, a little bit of detail, possibly a bit too repetitive. That's probably something I would do differently, but the detail is good. I like it, and you know, it just frames the inner area quite nicely. This is the side of the fortress over here, and one of the things I really like is this extra raised area here. There's like these kind of oval, like pokey outies here. Yeah, that's a technical term. These like oval areas that like kind of overlap over the main inner fortress and just kind of have their own little, support system and everything. It just adds a lot of depth, another layer to the fortress, and it just kind of makes it fun getting in here and exploring everything. A couple things I'm very pleased with. The helmet here was I was just making a doorway and designs, and the horns just kind of appeared, and then we got a little helmet there. I kind of like it. Of course, we need to talk about this guy here. I had to give some kind of gesture or reference to the warden that lives here. So instead of trying to do the whole warden face, which quite honestly just starts to look too pixel arty and too kind of 2012, I decided to just make the mouth and make this whole top part be like drippy layers and everything. And I think, the mouth kind of doesn't fit, but I think it looks good. I kind of love it. Other little details that like a lot of people wouldn't even notice. Look at this. There's like a little skull or a little like demon face here on the side, and its horns turn into like little parapets or whatever pokey things up on the top of the very tippy top of the tower there. And honestly, I think that like the thing that brings it all together is the spikes. I think I really nailed the spikes here. I like these spikes here on these mid-level towers here. This guy right here, I absolutely love. We use that on all the, like I said, the mid-range towers. And then there's the giant spiky things over on the top of the main tower. Just love it. Absolutely love it. I think we probably need something on top of here, but we're at build height. There's not much space here, so it has to fit below those points, but I think we could put something there. I think like an orb is a bit cliche, but maybe something goes up there. I'm not sure. So we've obviously got a lot of redstone already in here for various systems. The one we're going to be focusing mostly on today is a brand new system we haven't touched at all yet, and that is the hazard system. It's a term I've been throwing around for quite a while now, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you just don't really know exactly what is hazard. So it's kind of a peer to Clank. Right behind me is the Clank generation system. Clank is how much noise you make as you're stomping through the dungeon, and when you make too much noise, the evokers come out and they bring the Vex spirits and they kill you in the face. Hazard, on the other hand, is gonna go right here. It's a much smaller system. Hazard is just a question of how long you've been in the dungeon. The longer you stay in the dungeon, the more of it will close off. The more of it will, the traps will become activated, corridors will close off, and generally the dungeon becomes much harder to navigate. Okay, this should be pretty straightforward here. We're going to start off with a standard etho hopper clock. I think we're going to set it to like 30 seconds or so. So that means every 30, and then that'll change based on playtesting, of course. But every time the clock cycles, it's going to essentially signal the dungeon, the entire dungeon, and say, hey guys, you should consider activating some of your hazard things. And there's going to be little randomizers on each one of them to determine which one will actually turn on. So the corridors will close off at various intervals. Some games you might get some corridors to close off, other games you might get other ones, but if you stay in there long enough, they're all gonna close. But it's gonna take a lot more than just a simple etho hopper clock to make this work, because we have the concept of blocking hazard. Now, if you remember, we have cards that might say block the next 2 hazard that would generate. So when that happens, we'll signal this line right here, okay? And that's gonna send an item into this hopper here. And basically what that means is next time a hazard would generate, we need to kind of just ignore it and not let it signal down through the system. So here's how this works. Purple line is the game on line, okay? When that turns on, this hopper clock unlocks and starts doing its thing here. As you can see, it's doing there. Every time the cycle is up, we generate a pulse right there, and it tries to send a signal down here. You see the light turns on and the powered rails signal the observers. So that will be the case of, hey, a hazard was just generated. You should see it happen right now. There you go. But instead now, if I take a few of these stones here and I sprinkle a few of them in here now, okay, so now we're blocking the next 5 hazard. You can see this comparator here is locking this repeater here. So essentially now when the hazard generates and this torch turns on, oh, it's locked because that's locked right there. Okay, and now when we take them out, we'll go down to 1 more. You'll see this will block 1 more time, but where is it? Okay, it blocked 1 more time. The light did not turn on, but now the repeater is no longer locked because we are not blocking any Clank, and the next one should go through. There it goes. But we also have to be smart here now and remember that someone could have excess hazard being blocked. Like if they were stockpiling some reason, you know, oh, I have a deck of cards that is just all about blocking hazard, and I'm queued up to block the next 15 hazard, and then the game ends. Well, when the game ends, we need to drain that back in so that the next player is obviously starting with 0. So now with the core hazard generation system done, we've got the difficult task of actually distributing the event all throughout the dungeon and adding hazard and closing off corridors and activating traps. But like I said before, that's going to be all randomized. So every time a hazard event generates here, what I've got is a 1/3 randomizer, like a 1/3 chance that the axe will be picked, which will signal this, and the piston will pop up and generate a 1-tick pulse down the powered rails down the hazard event line. And then we're pulling that signal off the main bus line along with the purple line, which is the game on line. I'm trying to keep everything nice and neat here as best I can, but we got to hook it up to all of these hazard systems. You see this little like loop right here? Those should have been in orange wool to be color coded, but I did these first. But I've got all of them placed for all level 1. You can see there's some there, there's some like out there, and I think there's even, you'll see a bunch there, there's another one there, another one there. They're everywhere around here. So all of these now need to be hooked up to a similar system. When an event comes in on the hazard line, observer picks it up, a dropper, and in here now I need to put 6 items. There we go. We got 5 stackable items, 1 item that is not stackable. If the axe is chosen, signal length hits the dropper, pushes the cobble over here, boom, signals the system to go up. Now the purple line for game on is here to lock this hopper and then to keep the item in there, of course, to keep the door closed. But then when the game ends, it releases and we'll let the item flush back in over there. So essentially what we have here is a 1/6 chance here at each node and then a 1/3 chance at the master generator. So we got about a 1 in 18 chance every hazard event that a door will close off. Okay, and that's not bad. That's going to happen about every 20 seconds or so, maybe every 30 seconds. All of these numbers, I'm pretty much just pulling out of my butt. We'll see how the game testing goes, how long runs take, and it'll determine. You know, I may tweak the rate at which hazard is generated. I may tweak the chances that hazard, all that stuff, all up for grabs. But yeah, now I've got about 15 or 20 of these things to hook up all throughout here. Again, pulling the orange and the purple line off the main bus line and feeding them into all of these guys right here. This is kind of exciting. This is a big deal here. We are inside the Great Hall here, and I'm gonna kind of run the first little test of decks out here. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's many things that aren't done yet, but I can put my shulker in here. I'm hoping I can ride the minecart down. The game will start. I will explore the dungeon, and as I'm exploring the dungeon, I have some of the chances turned up very high right now. We're gonna see all the corridors close. I'm gonna run through the dungeon as fast as I can, and we're gonna see how many of the corridors are closed off. So I do this. And I forget how to make this work. Wasn't there a button here or something? Go now. Oh, right. The shulker box can't be empty. I forgot about that. Oh no. Well, it's just ain't my oh no, it's in my hand. Okay, hold on. I'm not very smart. Let's put a super amazing card in there. Here we go. And now when I go this, bam, there we go. Boom, there it goes. And we get in here and we hit the button. I gotta put a little light up there or something. We ride the trail into Decked Out. I love this entrance. I love this right here. Free falling. This is so good. You can hear the cave. Wait, why are there 2 minecarts? Minecart be chasing me. Now the game should start right there. Boom. I stepped on the pressure plate. The door opens. And in we go. And it should be running. This is a corridor right here. We're going to take one of these out. We don't need those anymore. And now let's see. Oh, we're making clank. This corridor is still open. I expect the early ones here to be all open, but they should. Oh, I just heard one close. Like I said, I've got them cranked up super high aggressive right now. That one just closed. Oh, this is great. Can you hear the heartbeat going? Yeah, closed already. And again, I have these turned up way high right now just for testing. The heartbeat is so good. Let's just check down over here. Oh, that one just closed. This is great. This one should be closing short. Yep. Right in front of my face. Let's check in this back room back here. This is a total dead end now. Yep, it's already closed. So this room becomes a dead end now. Let's loop around. Let's check the left wing through this area here. Oh, I didn't hook this. Oh, I did hook this up. Look. See, those have retracted already, making this a much higher jump. I mean, I have an elytra, I can just go right across. But without an elytra, that becomes a much harder jump. Let's go see over here now. There should be, yep, that wall is up there. And I think there's another one over here that will probably, yep, that one is up as well. So this whole snowy left side area is super hard to navigate now. And then we enter the crypt here. Oh, there should be one first right here. By the way, these purple things, this is where Clank is generated. They're little markers. I'm going to take them out later on. This one right here, this ice here is extended. Let me just scoot underneath it. That ice is extended now, so it blocks off that staircase. Look, right here, closed. You can still see through, know where the ravages are, but it's not easy to navigate anymore. And then you got to loop around here now. Let's see. Closed, yes, and this one should be, this is open here. And oh, I still got to do this one right here. I want to close that one off there too. I forgot to add the stuff there. This is amazing. And then we finally have one over here as well. Yes, closed. I'll probably put like a little roof or something here so it doesn't look so weird. But that's the entire staircase, the left choice staircase that is closed. And what that means is you might be coming back that staircase and that might close off. But now that I think about it, what I think I want to do is make, you can see that's closed off there too. I want to make this one closable as well, but make it 50-50 on which one will close. Otherwise, people will just ignore that staircase all the time. But this is great. The hazard system for level 1 is basically done. There's no traps in yet. Those will be coming soon. Oh, I need some food. One of the traps that I want to add is and that's why I have these soul torches here. One of the traps I want to add is behind these fires. We're going to take these skulls out and everything, and we're going to have some strays that are hidden behind walls here somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to pull it off yet or anything. But when the hazard gets to a level and it triggers, that's going to open up and the strays are going to be there. They can't get out. But anyone who basically comes in front of this they're just going to get shot by a stray, which is going to slow them down, I think, right? Don't stray arrows slow you down? I don't even remember. But anyways, it's going to be great. There's going to be a trap here. I think we're going to do something where like water falls from the ceiling here too, and maybe just makes a big giant puddle here, all kinds of stuff. And the thing I'm really excited about right now, there's so much going on. I have an idea right here. This isn't going to be tied to hazard, but you guys are going to love this trap right here. So the first thing we need to do is drain all the water out because we need to make this thing a little bit bigger, not too much. Something like this with a little light source at the bottom and a little chest down there. We'll hide that a little bit better, and maybe that light's a little bit too bright, but I want to fill it with water now. This is good. It looks very enticing down there. I think the light's a little bit too bright. I'll turn that down. Maybe a little bit more vegetation. I don't have any sea pickles though, but we'll see. It's a good start. So now what I need to do is in the back here, I'm gonna dig some of this out and make a little area here. We're gonna have to reshape some of this cave a little bit because some of this right here is gonna have to get moved a little bit. Where's my shovel? This will have to come out like you, and maybe bring some of this ice over here. Make the path come a little bit more over here because we need some space right there. There we go. I moved the walkway over a little bit like that. Not too bad. And we dug a little hole out here with a water stream that comes down on an L right here up against some walls and a piston here. Now we're making a trap, and this was an idea I was trying to come up with in stream over on twitch.tv, and after the stream someone sent me this idea on Twitter, and it was done by Jack 68632. So Jack, thank you so much for this design. This is precisely what I needed, because what we need to do now is we need to go on a little shopping trip. Now I don't normally do a lot of shopping. I try to be self-sufficient, but we gotta head over. There's a certain enchanted book I need, and I think Impulse, wrong door. I think Impulse should have it because he's got all the books. It's been so long since I've been over here. Is the shop even still here? I think his shop is still here. Maybe he moved it over to iBuy. I'm not sure yet. Let me see. Nope. Looks like we're still good. Where is it? No. There we go. Frostwalker 2. How much is this thing? All books, 2 diamonds each. Excellent. Give me a book. Thank you. And now, if I did this right, let's see. We put a armor stand there. Or we put our Frostwalker iron boots on this guy. You guys know what's happening now. It's no secret anymore. This is the greatest trap ever. And then we do this, and then we maybe skedoodle something there to cover it up. No one would even know that there's any business going on in there, I don't think. And then now we just need to hook it up. But for now, we'll have a little test button here. Let me put a button over here instead. So the idea is they go down there to, oh, hi, fishies. They go down there to curiosity, you know, and see what's in the chest. Maybe there's some reward in there. And when they open the chest, oh, it doesn't cover the whole thing. Okay, that's not bad. I can deal with that. I thought it was going to cover more. All right, all we got to do is I got to cover a little bit more of this. Okay, and now the idea is that so the idea is, you can tell I'm a little excited here. The idea is they're gonna drown and die down there, straight up. I'm okay with this. Everyone's gonna fall for this trap once, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. What I need to do is release some light in here to melt the frostwalk snow or the frostwalk ice and everything. So there we go. That's good. This is still a good opening, and that area there is. Why did you not cover that time? Why you not? There we go. That was weird. Okay, we can't have spaces. That's it's got to be consistent here. All right, I'll have to test that a little bit more. Let me get it all hooked up to the redstone and get the light popping out and everything. This is gonna be great. Okay, it's done. It's a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be, but I believe it's working now. So when the victim opens the chest, which is behind that, actually it's above, it's back there. Anyways, powers this repeater here, and it comes up here and immediately goes up here and triggers the armor stand to instantly freeze the water above their head. At the same time, it's going to spit out an iron nugget here and start a 5-minute timer. And when that's done, it starts a long pulse extender here, like a 20-second pulse extender, which exposes 3 glowstone at like the surface of the water, which melts all the ice, thus resetting the whole thing. And what does it look like from the player's perspective? Well, they're going to see this. I mean, come on, that's enticing right there. Everyone's gonna go down there. They're gonna dive in here. They're gonna go, what's in the chest? Nothing. Oh no, what happened? Now they can't get out. They're dead. In fact, I might die right here as well. Melt harder. Please don't die in my own trap. Come on. There we go. Oh, okay, that's how that works. Very deadly. Oh, also, I forgot to mention over by the card processor, I did some work over here, and actually I'm not even done. A couple things. I changed out the entire card shuffler because the last one had a minor flaw in it. I'm not going to go over all the redstone and stuff here, but the last one had a minor flaw in it where it would likely prioritize similar cards to stack, and therefore they'd be played more likely to be played like consecutively or near each other. So that's all fixed. Now I actually switched over to using the one Izuma did for Beep's trading card game. It's actually pretty ingenious, so check it out on his channel if you want. I also added up here, I added a max card processing thing. Like, so now if I want, I can specify how many cards you're allowed to have in your deck. In this case, I'm tentatively saying 40. If I even want to cap it, I don't know that I do yet, but I might. I'm leaning toward being 40 or something like that. In which case, any cards in your deck after 40 will just get ignored and automatically sent down the discard line and returned to your deck, which is a good thing. And I also added a much needed thing that was just a huge oversight. When the game is done, now whatever cards are left in your deck will automatically be spit out right there, and then down the discard line and return to your deck. So this is good. Any excess cards or any cards that were not played are automatically returned to your shulker. Coming up soon, I need to pack up the shulker and send it back up to the surface. That's going to be a pain. I don't know when that's happening. Now, there is one more thing I'd like to do today, and that is down on level 2. There's a trap I've been wanting to add for quite a while, and I'd like to add it right now, right to this hallway right here. See how this hallway is like very suspiciously straight and kind of even? We're gonna put a trap here with some dispenser arrows. Dispenser arrows? That didn't make any sense. Some dispensers with arrows in the walls on each side, and we're gonna get like this really cool Indiana Jones effect when they come running by here. Just guys couldn't figure it out. Those are my amazing sound effects for them being peppered with many, many arrows. Okay, and just like that, I think I hooked some redstone up here with some pistons to reveal the dispensers, and then some like little clocks on either side. So basically, the pistons or the pistons will drop, revealing the dispensers. The dispensers will fire like 4 or 5 times on each side and alternating like A, B, A, B. Hopefully peppering them a few times. I don't want to kill them. I just want to hurt them a little bit here. But it'll look something like this. They're going to come down here, boom, boom, and then tick, 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 tick. Those are all arrows firing. I think, did I miss one? Did I miss one over here? I don't think so. Is this supposed to be a guy here? No. Oh, that's right. I only did 4 on that side. Okay, so we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. Perfect. And like I said, they're alternating kind of back and forth, so it's going to be, and they're also, are staggered too. Like one is on this road, the other one is on this road. So basically there's one on every vertical column across here, so pretty good. And so now all I need to do is hook this up, because we can't have them just come by and press the button. Obviously that's not going to work. So what I got to do instead, I want to hook these up to skulk sensors, silent skulk sensors down below, but I want this to work from either way. So I think what I need to do is, like, if they're coming down here, boom, hit a skulk sensor. I have to get the timing right so that it goes off like right when they're approaching the middle here or so. But then I want to lock out the opposing skulk sensor on the other side, because I don't want it to trigger again as they're leaving. So I think whichever one is triggered first, it'll be the other one that gets locked out for like 20 seconds or something like that. I don't know. We'll see if I can make that happen. Okay, I think we're done. I had to bring in the purple line, which is the game active line, all the way over, because I wanted to lock this hopper while the game is active. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm making it so that this can only go off once per run. Once it goes off, the item moves over to the hopper, then these comparators will lock the whole system so it can't happen again until the game resets, which I think is a good thing. The other thing of note is I am using skulk sensors without shriekers, which does unfortunately mean that bats could trigger the system, but given that it only can happen between the time they start and the time they get to the trap, I'm not too worried about it. Let me show you what we got here, what the sensors are. I gotta say I feel weird about skulk sensors. Look, I'm stuck. How do I get out of here? I feel weird about skulk sensors still. They never feel that accurate to me or something. Like they just don't trigger. In fact, why? Oh, it probably didn't trigger because this. All right, I got to turn the thing off. Hang on, hold on. Okay, I temporarily disabled the deactivation stuff, so it'll go off. So we'll get a sense of the timing here. Let's see if I'm holding sprint and running forward. Cool. That was great. That was super effective. Why isn't it working? Yeah, I removed dust from that block. That doesn't do anything because it still powered the hopper. All right, let's try that again. Okay, actual test take 47. Go. Here we go. Running in. I sure would like to get out there. Go. Oh, the timing is great there. I was right about in the middle or so. Let me try it from this side over here. Now, keep in mind that they're going to be coming through lava and stuff here, but once you get used to this area, you'll be just bouncing over the lava and stuff. All right, did those close yet? I think they closed. Here we go, from this side. All right, well, that side's not working. Anyway, let me try this side again. I want to verify the timing. But this is generally how it works, and I'm pretty happy with it. Right? Yeah. That's good timing. You're right dead in the middle. I'll have to get this one tweaked and everything. And other than that, we've got ourselves a good trap here that goes off once per run, and it's gonna shoot. I'll fill these up with arrows probably real soon or something just to get it working and stuff, because then we'll test damage and everything. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy. This went together pretty quick. You see, the Caves of Carnage here so far have been a pretty straight shot from like right up there to down here. Before this was here, you jump in the water, you skedoodle around the boat, and you're done. And it's kind of easy. Yeah, there's maybe ravagers and things in here and probably things in the water and stuff, but for the most part, the land, the what's the word I'm looking for? The layout of the dungeon, it was pretty one-sided. You were gonna go this way, so I wanted to add a trap right here, which I'll show in a second. And then there's another place to get through the dungeon over here. If you come down over here now, I added another little parkour trap, very reminiscent of Decked Out 1. I will show you this one in a second. It's already on and working. I love it. This way was another easy way to get through, and then there's a third way to get through, and that we did not add a trap through because, well, it involves coming through here, which, I mean, let's face it, this is a trap in itself once I take the torches out. So the goal is to make it an interesting decision. Which way does the player want to come through? Every time they come through, I want to have different players have different philosophies, and I want them to argue about what way they think is the easiest way to get through. If maybe you're really good at parkour and you go this way or the other way, or maybe, you know what, you're like, hey, I'm fast, I can get right through those spiders and they don't bother me, and I want everyone to disagree on it, and that is the goal. That means we've got a balanced dungeon. So the first parkour trap here is obviously drip leaves. It's not that hard. I fail it about 80% of the time because, let's be honest, I am the parkour champion, obviously. So for this one here, you have this room now. You got to jump to there, and then you got to jump to there, I believe, and then over to there, and then you're out. I will now demonstrate it like a professional. 1, 2, I'm a professional. And then when you fall down here, you are guaranteed to generate some clank, as you just heard. So that is the penalty for falling. Not only the time, but the loss of the increase of clank. Ooh, nah, yes, I'm an expert. Okay, so this one, it's a little tricky, but there are people that are way better than me, let's face it, and they're gonna bound through here just fine. But here, the penalty for falling is guaranteed clank anywhere in that pit, because the only way out is that vines area there, and when you climb up, you generate clank. So you might generate 2 or 3 clank coming through here, and you waste some time. It is Ravager proof. Of course, the Ravagers cannot fit through these diagonal walls here, and then, of course, they obviously won't be out in the water. I'm gonna prevent that as well. And the other trap I added, this one was a throwback to Decked Out 1. If you guys remember, right when you turn into the dungeon in Decked Out 1 and you turn left, there was a little trapdoor flappy thing there, and you kind of had to walk across it. We did it here, only it's, you know, of course, a little bit harder, as one does. We improve everything in Decked Out 2. But you'll notice I added a little ladder there. The ladder isn't necessary. It's more of an indicator to let you know that, hey, if you've got jump boost, you could jump up there and bypass the entire trap. Again, trying to add more incentives for adding jump boost. That would really help there. If you get up there, you could also try to jump across from right here, which I should be able to do, but only because I have an elytra on right there. If I can, there's that. You would be able to hop up here and then do a little crawl through the thing over here and down, and you are done with the trap. But in the unlucky or unfortunate event that you do not have jump boost, well, this is the way to go. This is an easier trap to navigate, but obviously the penalty here is, it's a little bit worse than generating 1 clank. And of course, I will now demonstrate with extreme skill and bravery. Just let me drink my quick jump boosting potion over here. There we go. Okay. The way this one works now is when you're in the area, the trapdoors start flippy flapping like that, and you give it a little hoot, and you give it a hoot over here, and then you gotta go hoot, 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 hoot. Everything's fine. As you can see, both of these puzzles are trivial for someone as skilled as myself. So yeah, I think we've added some deterrent to going both of these ways now. So now your choices are Lava Pit of Doom, Drip Leaf Clank Generator, or the Spider Den. I also like that I added these little chains here, and I intentionally left all of this on so you can kind of peek through there and decide, is there a Ravager over there? Do I want to go this way? That sort of thing. These trapdoors should kick on in a second. There they go, because there's skulk sensors and everything down there that, you know, activate and turn us all on when you're in the vicinity and all that stuff. But yeah, this one's a little bit easy. You jump there, you jump there. If you stand there too long, that piston pushes out, and it's gonna doink you into the happy fun sauce. But other than that, this one is mostly easy. You gotta stop right there, wait a tick, go, 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 go. Look at that. I'm a professional. And this brings us to the focus of today's video, which I gotta say, guys, what we're gonna do today is the hardest problem facing Decked Out design so far, by far. For the most part so far, everything's been like, okay, I thought of a little idea, I plug it in, connect it to the main bus line, and everything's great. So far, no problems. But I gotta be honest, the problem with the task today, it delayed this video quite a bit, like maybe 3, 4, 5 days, as I was trying to think of the right solution and what we can do and how we can do this in an easy, expandable way. And the problem I'm talking about is this one. Every time the player draws a card from their deck during their run, we need an audible cue that plays everywhere in the dungeon, completely synchronized, because those areas are going to overlap. They have to be synchronized, and it has to let them know clearly and concisely what card was just played, so that they can react to it or just have that knowledge. So we've got our card processor over here, which has gone through some updates recently, and this is the heart of it. This is where it all starts. I've gone through a couple approaches of how we're going to solve this problem here. This right here is where the card is drawn and it gets processed. Look how long and how bulky this is. This is the processors, for each card. So the problem is figuring out what card was just drawn and signaling 4, maybe up to 8 places in the dungeon synchronously to play the appropriate disc associated for the card that was just played. That's kind of a pain in the butt. So the first sort of like naive approach I went through was just water streams, right? I figured, okay, maybe right before I process the card here, I can just kind of squirt out some music discs, and have them go into various water streams that then cost like blue ice or something that quickly gets them to the various locations in the dungeon. And then I could dedicate a line on the main bus for boom, play all those discs now, right? So I could allocate time for them to get there, and then whatever the maximum time is, I could signal the line and go. Play sounds. But yeah, that didn't even come close to working because the water streams are just way too slow. Even with blue ice, it took like 15, 18 seconds just for the disc to get to the far reaches of the dungeon. That's not gonna, we gotta get the disc back over here. That's way, way, way too long. I'll be honest, I was shooting for sub 5 seconds. Sub 5 seconds meaning between the time we play the disc, between the time I get the disc back, I was hoping it would be 5 seconds, and that's a lofty challenge. Another approach I considered, and I'll just mention this just so you guys understand the whole process I went through, was to have individual remote disk libraries that have all of the possible disks, and they're already there, and we just signal from here and describe, to let each system know what disc to play. But if I'm honest, that's got a lot of drawbacks. One, it doesn't scale. Every time I add a new card to the game, which we're going to do, I got to go touch all of those libraries and amend them. It's going to be huge because every one of those libraries is going to be a massive thing. It has to figure out what signal was just pressed and load the correct disc. It's going to be super bulky. And I still got to find a way to send the correct signal to each of those libraries to tell it what disc to play. And there's going to be 40, 50 kinds of possible cards that are drawn, and that consists of like pulse length encoding, maybe, but that gets super bulky too on the decrypt. It's a problem. So once I decided that we were going to deliver the disc to remote players, to very lightweight remote players, the disc will simply arrive, play, and be returned to the card processing system. Once I decided that, the next step was to figure out where I wanted to put these players to get coverage over the entire dungeon, and that's what these two... Oh, hi there, slime man. You now die in the face. Turns out these 2 gold blocks here are perfect. This one here and that one down there. Now I've got like a little mod here that lets me put shapes on the server. Some of you have seen this before, and if I hit H, basically we have a couple of overlapping large spheres. Now, did a little testing, and the music disc, you can hear them up to 60 blocks away. Right around 60 is where you start getting some fall off and stuff, but if you overlap it with another player, it'll boost it. Anyway, using FreeCam here, which is basically our like instant spectator account here, you can see that we basically get 100% coverage of the dungeon. I'm inside another loop right here. It goes in, like it misses like a little bit of the stairs right there, but that's okay. And so we get pretty much 100% coverage with just 2 disc players, which is fantastic. It goes all the way over here up into the frozen area as well. You can see it gets just about to the door right there, over to the other side over here. I think there's like a little bit that's clipped right here, maybe. Yeah, like a little bit right here. You won't be able to hear it, but that's okay. So that simplifies things greatly. I just need 2 players. I can turn this off. We need 2 players, 1 down there on that gold block and 1 here. Now, since we've discovered that we can cover levels 1 and 2 of the dungeon with just 2 jukebox players, I'm going on the assumption that levels 3 and 4 we will be able to do the same, because quite honestly I don't even think those will be as long or as big. So what I've come up with here is I've modified the card processor here. I won't go into the details here, but basically when a card is selected, this piston pushes down, tick, 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 a little clock here, and I believe what we got here is from here, here, and here. I can do words. Imagine these were all the same disc, the same customized disc to play the audio cue for the disc in this vertical slot. Now I've got it where when the card comes in, boom, it would kick off the filter, the clock goes bam, bam, and then here's what we get. Boom, we get two discs pop out right there. We're gonna put them into a dropper in a second, and then 2 discs pop out over here. So the 2 discs that pop out over there, those are gonna be the ones for levels 1 and 2, and the 2 discs that pop out over here, we're gonna send those down that way for levels 3 and 4 of the dungeon. All right, so at this point, we're actually doing pretty good. We've decided that we want to relocate the discs to the various parts of the dungeon as opposed to making remote libraries, and we've got a good way to spit out the appropriate discs that match, you know, the card that was just played. Unfortunately, now comes the ridiculously challenging part. How do I get 2 discs to go from there and get one there and one over somewhere, where's the other one over there? The other one over there. How do I get those there in a matter of seconds? Okay, water streams way too slow. So the first thought I had, which is actually a pretty good one and it still could work, was to use nether portals. I could spit the items from those droppers right there immediately into nether portals and then have a setup in the nether where we use like piston slime block pushers and it was kind of like yeah, I don't know if you know, those are the official sounds that are made, but we'd be pushing the items around in like a little miniature version of Decked Out in the nether, and then we'd push them back into the portals that match the locations here, and it's great. You'd have like a little mini temporary chunk loader, not a permanent chunk loader, but it would load the chunks necessary in the nether when the items go through. It would kind of work, but it was getting really clunky and it felt a little fragile and just a bit weird. And then after much research, I discovered this glorious beast. What we have here is instant bidirectional redstone wire hooked up to a unidirectional dropper lines, okay? And when you put these two magnificent things together, you have instant item transfer across infinite distance. Now, I don't know if you just heard what I just said, but this is pretty amazing stuff right here. So a lot of you redstone people probably heard about this. I didn't. This was featured on like Ilmango's video, on a couple other videos. The one I'm doing here was on Cube Hamster's video, and it's just so cool. It's just so cool. So we have powered rails up there with an observer line. All these observers are monitoring those rails, and this whole top part here is basically for instant, kind of instant redstone. It's not really redstone, but because you're using rails, but it's instant transfer, right? If I do anything right here, if I put an update on anywhere, whoop, you see that tick? That happens instantly right there at the exact same time it happens all the way down there. And that is the magic to make all this stuff go. Well, it's that in conjunction with all of these observers right here that are watching the rails. They update in the same tick, but in reverse order. So if down here, if I come over here and I just throw a little update on that guy right there, you heard that tick, they all just updated at the exact same tick, but actually in reverse order from down there up to here. And since all these observers are pointing down with a little bit of this section here to continue the rail action, we basically get all of these droppers pointing in the exact same direction, but triggering at the exact same tick. So watch, I'll just show you. Okay, we're gonna put 3 packed ice into the skedoodler all the way down to the end down here. And now check this out, right? I'm gonna put a barrel at the end of the line, at the end of the dropper line there. We're gonna throw a little comparator action with a little light here, okay? Very simple stuff here. Anytime an item goes in here, the light turns on, okay? That's all you need to know, okay? Now, watch this amazingness, okay? I'm just gonna take any old block here. We'll just take a quartz block here, and I'm gonna take this, okay? Barrel empty. Watch this. Bam! But did you see bam? Bam! Watch this. We're gonna break it again. Boom. 2 instant item transfer. Boom. 3 done down the line. So, and it just ticked there because it's all out of items. We can transfer items as far as we want, and this can go around corners and things and do crazy stuff. It can't go vertically, but we can make some little adjustments to modify for that. So this is what we're going to use to get the music discs to the exact location they need to be. Boom, in a single tick. So now I've got to set up a little thing here that from here probably spits it into something that comes over here. And unfortunately, there's going to be some delay because I've got to lift it up over the bus system. Okay, but once we get it up high, it's going to come over here, and then turn right here and go right to this guy. But then it's also going to split. I'm going to do a little magic where it's going to make it, I can make the first one go there, and then the second one will drop down a little bit here and then go straight shot instantly over to here. I'm thinking I can get a disc from the card processor to here in about 3 seconds. I'm hoping maybe 4 seconds. And while I'm working on that, we're going to take a little break from a little bit too much techno babble here. And instead, we're going to meet up with our good friend Pearly Pop, who we haven't seen in forever. And we're going to get more hermits building inside of Decked Out. Okay. So it's not very big. It's basically everything from here. You know, this is a one-way dead end. The good thing is, though, this wall here, this could get pushed back 10, 15 blocks or so if we need to. Yeah. No problem there. And at this point, level 2 is called the Caves of Carnage. Whatever. You could change the theme in here. You could change the atmosphere. You could make whatever points of interest you'd like. Whatever idea you want. This is your palette. So this is a good room for just a simple, like, unique flavor room, and I'll hide some artifacts in here, maybe put a little quest or something in here, but that's all later after you make it amazing. Yeah,
I can certainly do my little salt-based spice flavoring,
excellent.
in this little room.
Excellent.
I love it. Yes. When can I start?
Immediately, but again, I want to stress no rush. I mean, I still have so much work to do, but whenever you want to, that's great. But if it takes you 3 weeks to get to it, that's fine too.
Well, I might do it in the next few days.
Oh, that sounds even better. I like it. Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's all yours.
Oh,
Empty palette. Go nuts. I can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you, Tango. I will do.
And I'll give you instructions how to get back in here when the time comes.
Yeah, I think I will need that. I might get lost trying to get out of this place.
Yeah, I'll take you out. All right. Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you, Tango.
Okay, after much work, we are ready to give this thing a try and show you where I'm at. So I've got a couple of discs simulated here. The ones I can find is Pearl's cleaning attunement. We're going to try some of my actual audio clips later. But the way this works, this would be continued all the way down for the, this is discs for levels 1 and 2, and this is the discs for levels 3 and 4. They'll both be continued down once I actually get the card processors in. But we're ready to go here. Let me show you what's going on here. This is kind of complicated and crazy. So the incoming, we're just going to focus. We only have levels 1 and 2 done because obviously level 3 isn't even working. So the discs are going to come in here, go over here instantly, essentially, go up this item elevator, and then from there go all the way down this line right here, and then it splits left and right there. One disc is going to go over here, and another disc is going to go over there. It's going to fall down this hopper line and go down another full instant dropper line all the way over to play down there. Now, the serious hard part about all this was getting it so that they both play at the exact same time, because when you stand like right around here or so in the middle, you can hear both of them, and if they're out of sync, it's like some bad reverb thing, and it's not great. But we also have a return line in right now, which is this one right next to it in parallel. The disc down there will be put into this instant dropper line, come down here, go up the drop elevator into this line right here, which merges in with the other one, goes under there, turns a little bit. I had to redo a little bit of redstone. It goes in the walls back there and then feeds back into the, there's like a little ice tray back there. Well, I'll show you. Both of this will eventually come down here, fall in here, and get put into this water stream. And then that's where it will actually go back into the appropriate hopper that matches it. Now, discs cannot be sorted because they cannot be stacked. So what we're doing is essentially when a disc is out, it opens up slots in these hoppers, the one that actually released it. Like, so like if it was this disc here, there would be 2 slots open in this hopper here. So they just simply come down the line until there's a hopper that has open space in it and fills it up. But anyway, here's how it should work here. This is going to simulate a card being drawn, and then it's just going to process the 2 discs that I've kind of pre-selected already. So I got to hit this like this, and we got to fly over here quick.
Oh, what's this then?
And we hear
What do
Pearl's
we have
voice
here?
right in the middle.
A chest monster with no
Oh, they're synced up perfectly. Yeah.
for being
So like over here,
completely and utterly
you're hearing that one
disorganized.
right there.
This seems like you may be in need of
A little bit out of sync
Please
there.
call 1-800-Cleanly
I'm still
for an immediate
still
area
evaluating?
refresher, or visit level 2 Twinkly Trash and buy the cute garbage bag in the shopping district.
I think it's perfect,
We
actually.
can help
It's
you.
perfect.
That's all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. But the really, really important thing with all this is the turnaround time. What is the time between like when I initially release the disc to be played, between that and when the discs actually return and are fully back in? Because I can't play another disc until those discs return. That's just basically the way the system works. So I got it faster than I could ever possibly get it using water streams and things like that, but I definitely need to get it a little bit faster. So basically time starts when this flashes. That means the discs are being processed. Time ends when that light turns back on. That means the discs have come back. So we'll hit this. Time starts right there. Go. They do all the thing. You go up the elevator. We're probably not going to hear the disc that well from here. Oh.
What's this then?
And it only played for 3 seconds. I turned that off because all the audio discs just got to play the name of the card. We don't need to hear Pearl's full speech. So we just have 3 seconds and then it comes back and then there, the lights turned on right there. Overall, I think we're at about 19 seconds of full loop. The good news is 19 seconds is great. That's I was thinking of processing a card or pulling a card every 30 seconds. The problem comes in for some of the cards that instantly pull another card, and that like bumps up the queuing system. So I need to be able to play cards faster than 19 seconds. I'm shooting for about 12 seconds. We have a lot of optimizations to go, but that's not happening today. But what is going to happen today, and what I'm very excited about, is I think I've finalized what the audio cues for the cards are going to be. I put some time into this and I was throwing ideas up on my Discord with my patrons, and we had some really good chats about different styles, different audio cues and tones and stuff, and they were incredibly helpful. So thank you guys that were there in Discord helping me out. And here we go. So these are the sounds. I only have 3 of them, but more importantly, what's important is I have the style done. I have the effects rack done, if you will. Basically a sequence of effects that I apply to my stupid voice to get something that hopefully sounds pretty decent here. Now I picked 3 cards arbitrarily: the Darkest Depths, Skillful Retreat, and Smash and Grab. Here we go. The first one we'll do Skillful Retreat first.
Skillful Retreat.
There you go. There you go. I originally started with like a movie announcer voice, and I shot that down, and instead we went with like a kind of a creepy, ghostly voice to kind of fit the theme of what's going on here a little bit better. And then there's also, if you notice, there's that card being drawn sound in the beginning, which I think is important. So all of the cards will have that starting with it, and that basically lets the player know, hey, a card's about to be drawn, pay attention, and gives them a little bit of cue to listen in and get ready to figure out what card is played. So let's do Smash and Grab.
Smash and Grab.
There you go. There you go. And then the last one we'll do is the Darkest Depths, which, by the way, is very hard to say like 50 times in a row. Here you go.
The Darkest Depths.
There it is. So this is not locked in stone, but I like the direction this is going. I like the card flip noise in the beginning. I like the tones. It's all my voice, just with a bunch of effects applied to it, and I think it's good. It should be clear, easy to understand throughout the dungeon with a cue. That's
Skillful Retreat.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So the next thing to do, which unfortunately I do not have time for today, but the next thing to do is to finish all of this music disc stuff, make the actual music discs that we're gonna use. And unfortunately, remember, I need like well, let's see here. We got to fill a hopper and 2 hoppers and 2 droppers. So that's what, 9, 18, 28 discs of each one just as buffer to fill, which is kind of interesting. And then it'll pick one, send it down the line, play it through the dungeon, and it'll return to the system. And we got to hook up the card shuffler, which is pretty much ready to go. I have a little sign here that says game active, and I just need to hook that up to the game active line, which is the black line there. And this thing's going to start shuffling cards out, drawing them out, and you're going to be able to to hear them in the dungeon. It's going to be amazing. Got a whole ton of things I want to show you that we've done in live streams to get the game like even more ready to be playable. And then the big thing we're going to tackle today, there's so many things, so many changes coming out. The big thing we're going to tackle today is the difficulty system. There's some changes to the overall game design that there's clank going off everywhere here. The difficulty or changes to the game design overall with the difficulty system that I want to show you, and a very clever way we're going to solve the difficulty distribution of the game so that the player has full control over how hard they want this game to be. And this of course includes choosing what compass we are going to give them. I'll explain all that stuff when we get there, but it's impressive. And we also have a huge change coming up to the gameplay too. Something like an overall sweeping change to how the game is played. Hello there, Hole in the Wall. I need to plug you up. But I think this change, I'll talk about it later in the episode when we get to it, but you guys are gonna love it, I think, and it's gonna really make each run even that much more interesting for the player. All right, so let's see where to even start. The redstone has moved along quite a bit here. Probably the biggest thing we've got done since last episode is you see all this blue and green stuff. These are the coin and ember drops, and everywhere you see this blue and green, all in here, all over here, up here, down, around, skadoodle, this, that. There's a whole bunch of stuff hidden up in the back there and everything. That is for the coin and ember drops. So now I can have cards over there that say add a few coins, add a few frost embers to the game, and now they will be randomly distributed throughout the dungeon, at least level 1, randomly. So that was a big system. We also went back and added all of the clank detectors. Most of them were done. We finished those. All of the artifact drop-offs are in. Oh right, all the hazard doors are in. Everything. But this level 1 is almost redstone complete. Probably the biggest change remaining for level 1 and all the levels of course is the evokers. Getting in the when they hit max clank or close to max clank, the evokers are going to start revealing themselves. And obviously we don't have the evokers in here yet, but even before that I want to get the redstone systems in that make them pop up so that they can, you know, summon vexes and kill the players and all that good stuff. Let's see, what else have we done? We got it so that now when the shulker drop off happens, it will now go down through this water stream down, where is it, right here, and be returned over here so that we can fill their, because you know they probably want their deck of cards back up. Now we can fill the cards that have been played and the cards that haven't been played and get everything returned and filled into their shulker deck. And we need to get their shulker deck returned to the surface so that, you know, they might want to play the game more than once. And you know, other little things like the minecart entrance ride where they enter the game in here, it comes down here, it drops them off, they go through the wall. Previously the minecarts were just sitting there. Now the minecarts get broken, sent back up to the surface and recycled. So again, more people can play the game. Oh, and also off camera, I have added a ton of little secrets on level 1. There's going to be more on level 2. Basically, little things that you have to discover and find for yourself. And no, I won't be showing those on camera. Meh. But I do want to explain what some of the changes are that are coming up. There's so much clank being generated now. I might have to tweet that. We'll see. Playtesting soon. But one of the big changes coming up that I'm super excited about though is in all these secret places hidden throughout the dungeon, you may find some lecterns like these. And I may have to take these out, or maybe these will be the ones that describe. But basically there's going to be books. And if you open up those books, inside the book will be a recipe, a crafting recipe that if you find those ingredients in that dungeon run, you can craft a new card. Yeah, that's right. So basically some of the higher end cards, the legendaries and the rares, I'm going to reserve to a crafting system, I think, where instead of paying for frost embers, who knows, it may be some kind of combination, I don't know, but you can craft the higher end cards. And you got to first find the recipe somewhere in the dungeon, whether you want to share that knowledge with the viewers or not the viewers, other hermits is up to you. But if you get the ingredients that are outlined there, it's going to be a standard. We're going to add a data pack to the server. There's going to be a standard recipe, you know, like you might need to get, you know, who knows, a tropical fish and a piece of sugar cane. I don't know, I'm making this up, right? That's a horrible example. But if you do and you take it to the crafting bench, there will only be one in the final room. You can craft a card that you can add to your deck. Overall, I think this is going to be a huge improvement. It's going to promote exploration. It's going to add a lot of curiosity. How do I get these cards? Where do I find them? Have you found the tier 3, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff is going to be great. Okay, I am very excited. Let's get to the new stuff that we're going to do today here now. So let's talk about the difficulty system, okay? Previously, up until now, what I was planning on doing was adding a certain amount of cards to the game that the player could put in their deck. They were permanent cards. And remember, permanent cards, you can only have one of them in your deck. They're unique, essentially. They were permanent cards that were going to increase something I was calling Delve, which was a stat that basically would increase the likelihood of you getting a compass that pointed to a deeper point in the dungeon. So if you had 0 delve, you're probably going to get a compass that points early stages of level 1. If you had a high level of delve, because you had 3 of these permanent cards that add different levels of delve, you might be going down to level 3 or level 4. And I want to keep that concept of difficulty 100%. It's key to the game, but we're going to change how the game determines how difficult that run will be. Instead of using permanent cards now, I'm just gonna, and there's a lot of thought behind this, and I see the pros and cons of both sides, but instead of using cards, we're gonna take those cards out of the game, and instead, right up in the beginning room, right in this room right here, where you start the game, where you place your shulker, this wall right here, I am going to add a difficulty selector. I'm thinking something like this. So I wanna brighten this up a little bit here. We're gonna make this white, and then we're gonna give it a little bit of glow. There we go. So step 1, choose your difficulty. And then step 2 now, I took the sign down. Basically, it's more clear what to do in here now. So this is going to be step 2. Step 2 is a place shulker deck against lamp. So basically, put your deck of cards right there. It'll get eaten up. And then we have step 3 over here. Step 3, ride the minecart. And I think you got to hit the button up there, but I'm guessing the hermits will be able to figure that out. So now it should be crystal clear what to do because the steps are labeled. If you come in here and don't see that sign or something, you're going to see step 2. It's immediately going to make you go, wait, what's step 1? This is brain dead. Everyone can figure this out. So of course we got to make it clear what is what here. It's going to be easiest on the left and hardest on the right. So I want to add little signs down below here. Let's see. Do we want to do... I want to do like a number just to make it obvious, and then a little word here. So we'll go easy, and then we're going to color code these. So easy will be green. We'll have medium, that is yellow. I love the glow ink in this case. In dark rooms, it looks so good. Level 3 is hard. Very good. Easy, medium, hard. So far, so good. And then level 4 is deadly. I love that one. And then level 5, I wanted to keep this one on brand a little bit. Level 5 is simply known as deep frost. Not forest, deep frost. There we go. And I think it's already black. So if we just glow this, yes, there we go. Easy, medium, hard, deadly, and deep frost. So basically these are all going to be mutually exclusive selectors. You select this one, this light will go on and stay on. Of course, I haven't hooked the redstone up yet. And if you click another one, whatever one was on will go off. So there will always be one light active here. So you have to choose a difficulty level. Okay, so now that the interface is done and I like the way this room is, I kind of want to take you guys on a little trip into my scary head and how we solved some of the theory craft and how we did the design for how we're going to use the difficulty system behind me to randomly distribute compasses to the player, but are heavily guided to the depths of the dungeon based on the difficulty that they chose. It's kind of cool. Now, to explain all this, I'm going to babble through it, but it's going to require a little bit of a spreadsheet. I hope that's okay. So where do we even start? I added 5 levels of difficulty because I didn't want it to match up with the number of levels in the dungeon, because I didn't want players to assume, because I think they would assume that if there were 4 difficulty levels and 4 dungeons, that they would one-to-one assume that if I choose difficulty level 3, that's going to take me to level 3 of the dungeon. I didn't want that. I want more randomization. I want a little bit more mystery. So we added 5. They kind of line up, but not 100%. Okay, so what we got here is going down on the left here is the compasses, okay? Right now I have about 24, 25 or so compass drop-off locations on level 1. I'm probably going to have close to that amount on level 2. On level 3, I'll probably drop off a little bit, maybe 15 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And on level 4, I'll add a little bit more because that's going to be end game, and eventually I'm guessing players will probably start to play there a lot. So overall, I'm assuming I'm going to have about 80 lodestones in the dungeon, 80 places where you can drop a compass off. And what we need to do now, you also need to assume now that these are sorted, okay? Compass 1, assume that is the easiest compass in the thing. It's right by the entrance somewhere. You go in, you drop it off, you get out, you get an artifact that's only worth like 5 frost embers or something, okay? But number 80 here, this is in the deepest, darkest, scariest place of level 4, and it's surrounded by wardens, and it is worth a lot of frost embers. Who knows? I haven't figured out. Probably 50 something, right? Who knows? So the challenge is how to give them a compass that correlates to the difficulty they've chosen on the panel selector, but not make it 100% predictive of what they've done. So what I'm doing is I'm allocating 10 droppers to hold all of the compasses, okay? 2 droppers for every difficulty level. You can see they're color coded here: easy, medium, hard. I didn't use the same colors, but easy, medium, hard, deadly, and deep frost, okay? So now if they choose easy, for instance, droppers 1 and 2 will have these. You can see the X means that compass is in that dropper. So there should be 9 X's in each dropper because there's 9 slots in each dropper. So if they choose easy, it will randomly choose one of the items to shoot out from these 2 droppers here associated to the easy difficulty level. And continuing on, medium, you get to choose from droppers 3 and 4. Hard, you'll choose from droppers 5 and 6. And as you can see, as you go up in difficulty level, the contents of the droppers start to point to compasses that are on deeper levels. So for instance, if you choose medium, you essentially have a 50-50 chance of getting a compass that's going to take you to the harder places in level 1 or the easier places in level 2. And if you choose hard, you're going to be guaranteed to be, deep within level 2, possibly even have to go to level 3 down here. And again, if you choose deadly, level 4, you're going to be pretty much living in level 3 of the mines, possibly dipping into level 4 of the dungeon. And if you choose the deep frost, you are guaranteed to be in the deepest, darkest places of level 4. So there you go. That's how I'm planning on solving the difficulty stuff. You can see me nerding out there. That's how it all works in my head, at least. The problem now is this, okay? Right here, I don't have much space. You see that right there? Look, that spot I just busted out is in the Great Hall. I did not anticipate there being, where is it? Yeah, right there. I did not anticipate there being a need for redstone back here. So what that means, I think, is this room right here and this room right here, they're gonna have to be shortened up a little bit. The wall's gonna have to come in probably 3 blocks, unfortunately. And phase 1 of the redstone is done. The panel selector works now. You can select whichever one you want, and it clears out the previous one. So we'll go medium. Not gonna go over all the redstone in detail, but let's see, right there is your lamp. That should give you enough. You got an observer watching the repeater. You got a couple droppers here. Obviously they have 1 item in there, and the comparator, very simple, very compact. I only had to push this wall back 2 blocks or so. Okay, but then I had to do some magic to get it down below here. But essentially, when I power this, that's my time to say, hey, I'm ready to get my compass, because they'll probably trigger this when they put their shulker box in. When that line powers, it extends these pistons, and because the signal there on those comparators is only 1, it only will power the dropper down below it. So these are the 5 droppers corresponding to the 5 levels. Now, they will not have compasses in them. They will have, I guess, dropper indicators in them. Let me show you. All right, we got our sorting system in here. I think we're basically done. Those are the 5 droppers corresponding to the 5 levels. And in here now, I have indicators for which dropper over here. We have a 10 dropper sorter over here. Okay, so if you choose level 1, and again, listen, I know I'm not a smart guy. I called these all compass. They should have been called dropper, but I wasn't going to rename them again because it took forever. But these should all say dropper 1 and dropper 2. Look, I get it. I'm not very smart. I mean, anyone who's going to wear these pants and carry a doll in his left hand all the time, still got a few things I got to figure out here. But imagine, if you will, this is the level 2 dropper here, okay? Now, you're either going to get, there's 4 stacks of compass 3, or I should say dropper 3, and 4 stacks of dropper 4. So you're going to get either a compass or a dropper 3 and a dropper 4 out of there, okay? And then they're going to go around here, and these are the actual droppers 1 through 10 here. So you can see if the dropper 3 one comes out, it's going to go through this sorter here, and this third guy right here will spit out one of its compass, and these will be loaded up with 9 compasses. They'll all be loaded up with stacks of 64 compasses that are already pre-bound to lodestones in the dungeon. So if I come in here and choose medium difficulty, because that's the only one where I have sampled compasses in the system yet, and then I simulate over here. Now I'm simulating them putting in their deck of cards into the thing. It's gonna hit this, boom, an item's gonna shoot out of there. It's gonna get sorted. It's gonna go over here, and then one of the compasses is gonna go down there, and that goes all the way to the starting room. And now when you ride the minecart down and you pop through this wall, I love the guy spawned down there. I haven't decided yet if I want to stop that or not. I kind of like it. But anyway, when you pop off the minecart now and you go here, boop, right there, your compass that was chosen for you falls in the ceiling, and the door opens and the run begins. Okay, let's talk about 2 huge changes that are coming to Decked Out. 2 decisions I've made in the past week that I think are going to change the game for the better. I'm super excited about both of them. The first one's a little bit smaller. The second one is going to be a complete game changer. So if you recall at the beginning of the video, I said I recently put in all of these green and blue lines, and they're very important. I ran them in parallel. They're basically at the same location. There's about 20 of them on just level 1 alone, and all of these the green lines give out coins and the blue lines give out frost embers. Okay, so basically to encourage you to explore the dungeon and pick up some of these goodies here that you might need. And of course, this is a quick reminder: coins can be taken out of the dungeon. You can collect them between runs. You can use them to buy items in the shop outside the dungeon in the Great Hall. Frost embers, on the other hand, cannot be taken out of the dungeon, and they are more valuable. They are used to buy new cards and other things in the shop at the end of a dungeon run, but you cannot take them out of the dungeon, and they must be thrown away if you don't use them. So you want to accumulate as many as possible on a single run. So this leads us to our first big change. Coins drop in the dungeon. This is not final art, by the way. These look like dinner plates. They'll be much smaller and much better, but coins drop throughout the dungeon. We are now changing this. Shut up, Clank. We are now changing it to also, we are adding crowns to the game, okay? So basically what we're doing here is adding a more powerful, we're changing the currency, okay? What was coins now becomes crowns. Crowns are the new standard of currency. Coins are, think of it as iron bars and iron nuggets. It takes 9 coins to make 1 crown, and I'll probably add a recipe to a data pack so that you can convert them freely. These are little coins, mini coins now. Coins are not as valuable. It's crowns that you really want, but you can collect coins and convert them into crowns so that you can buy things at the store in crowns. So the advantage of this is we can now reward the player more often, you know, a crown or 2 there, a crown or 2 there, and we're not giving them as much, but they still have incentive. Clank everywhere! With more frequent coin drops, they're now more incentivized to explore even more, because they're still worth picking up, because they still add up, and you can buy a lot of stuff at the end of the run outside in the shop. Okay, now this ties into the second and much bigger change to the game. Imagine, if you will, that a player is doing a deadly run, a level 4 run, and their compass is pointing to level 3. Hi, Scar. At this point, the player basically considers level 1 and level 2 to be mere inconveniences, right? It's how do I get through these levels as fast as possible? They're going to always attempt to go in the same direction. You know, yes, there's a good chance they'll run into some Ravagers or something like that, you know, which they may have to take a detour, but they're not really participating in levels 1 and 2. They're just kind of speed running through it. And I think I want to change this a little bit and spice things up. So here's the deal. We're gonna take a page out of some old school dungeon crawlers. Okay, I previously had this right here wired up as a hazard. Okay, so we're gonna break this here, break that. Okay, these are still gonna be closable doors, but they're not gonna close with hazard, because quite honestly, thinking about it, hazard, that was kind of annoying to come all the way up here and have this door be closed, then have to go all the way back down, all the way across, all the way back up the other stairs, and that's just, it didn't feel fun. So instead, these doors, we're going to change the blocks, and we're going to go with this oxidized copper here, okay? This is going to be now a symbol, a symbolic block. I'm not going to use this anywhere else. When you see this block, okay, and the doors are closed, you know that that door is locked. And what does any good adventurer need to get through a locked door? That would be a key, of course. That's right, we are introducing keys into the game, okay? So now, level 1, the doors are going to be closed when the game starts. That one and the one over there, okay? You cannot get to level 2 until you find a key in the dungeon, and you have to bring the key over here. I haven't decided yet if one key will unlock both doors, or if you pick, I think I'm leaning toward you pick which one you want to do. But somewhere by the door here, and we'll figure that out in just a minute, because we're going to actually make this happen. You're going to take your key, and you're going to drop it into a hopper, chest, barrel, something, I don't know, and the doors will open, and that will grant you access to the next level. There will be these copper doors will be going from here, levels 1 to 2, from levels 2 to 3, and from levels 3 to 4. So now brings up the obvious question of, well, how do I acquire the key to get through the level I'm on to get to the next level? And the answer kind of ties back to some of the changes we just made with coins, okay? Previously, there were cards in the game that would say +1 coin to the dungeon, okay? And those are going to still exist, except they're not going to say coin now. They're going to say +1 treasure. And treasure can be a coin. If you're lucky, it might be a whole crown, or it might be a key. So essentially, everywhere this green line connects up and it was going to drop coins, it's now going to look something like this. Imagine these are full stacks of 64. It's probably going to look something like this, okay? Maybe that. I'm not sure. Now you have a chance. Every time you add treasure to the dungeon, you're most likely going to get a coin, you might get a crown, or you might get a key. So your goal now, when you want to get through a level, is not just to make a sprint for the exit for the stairs down the next one. You have to explore the dungeon and look for a key that will get you, that will unlock the staircase to get to the next level. Now, there's some obvious questions that come up here. Keys are only going to work for the level that they drop on. If you happen to get 2 keys on level 1, you can't save one and use it for the door to get from level 2 to level 3. It's not going to work that way. And there could also be some concerns about, like, well, what if I get unlucky and a key doesn't drop and I have to sit in the dungeon for like 20 minutes? That's a legit concern, and I think I'm going to try to address that by putting like a max limit or something where eventually a key will be guaranteed to drop. I'm not certain yet, but we'll figure that out. And another question might be, well, what happens if you don't have any plush treasure cards in your deck? Or what if the plush treasure cards that you do have don't give you a key? Then a key will never come and you're dead. Well, what I think we might do is, with the changes to the currency now, given that there's a way to reward, to put treasure into the dungeon without overflowing them with coins, or overflowing them with crowns in this case, I think what I can do is treasure will enhance or increase the amount of treasure that you get, but treasure will automatically drop in the dungeon for you over time. So eventually you absolutely will get a key. And again, there probably will be some kind of throttle if you don't get a key within 4 or 5 minutes or something. One will probably drop at a fixed location that is well known. Okay, we got something here. I think this is going to be great. I mean, we're basically teaching the player how the key system works. So the game is on. You can hear the heartbeat running right now, okay? Now they're going to come up here and they're going to see this wall here. I put a little sign here that says, "Seek the key. Offer it to the kneeling man." Hopefully that's fairly obvious. Hopefully everyone knows what to do there, because there's a kneeling man right here. And the other sign over here says the exact same thing. We have "Seek the key, offer to the kneeling man." And it's telling them, hey, go look for a key in the dungeon. Once you get the key, I have one right here. Offer it to the kneeling man, and I've put a copper slab right here. Hopefully, copper, as the association, will tell them that, hey, that's going to be where you do it for the to unlock thing. And hopefully, I haven't tested this. We'll see if this works. If I do this, okay, there they go. They both just Opened. Okay, I decided to open both doors for now. I think that's the way to go because it brings up too many issues. If only one door locks, then you have to come out that way, and it defeats the point of having 2 stairs and stuff. But there you go. I like it. So that we just taught them the key system. That took very little work. Overall, this whole change takes very little work because all I'm redoing is reusing all the coin depositors I was going to use, and I just renaming it treasure and making it better. One thing I think I definitely need to do though is when they drop the key in here. I mean, we obviously, right? We have to play the Zelda noise. Listen, I can't make the tune, but you know what I'm saying, right? The Zelda noise where you discover a secret, that's got to happen every time you open a staircase. I love it. My goal is that we are going to do a full run through, a full playthrough of level 1 of Decked Out, minus the Ravagers and minus the Evokers. But I do expect to have everything else working. I have so much done. We have the Clank's going to be working, the Hazard's going to be working, the Treasure's going to be dropping, the Embers is going to be dropping. We're going to have compasses that you're going to get based on the difficulty. It's going to point you to an artifact. You're going to see the new artifact stuff in the game. But for real though, a lot has been done. I spent probably 3 days. We've designed completely new cards. I mean, oops. Yeah, the old cards were okay, but they just didn't have that zing to them. They didn't have the magic. They didn't have that synergy and fun of building decks. So we have 40 brand new cards. I mean, some of them carried over from last one, but we have about 40 brand new cards that I want to launch the game with. And guys, this new set of cards are amazing. And I know you're going to want to all see them right now, but I think I'm going to actually hold off on that. I'm going to hold off on that, and I want to reveal them probably closer to the launch of the season, because quite honestly, there's going to be some changes that are still happening. But for real, the new cards are just absolutely fantastic, and I think when you guys see them, you're gonna get very excited about the idea of how certain decks might be built now. In addition to that, I have been busy. Let me get on inside here, and then nope, this isn't where I want to be. I want to be down here. If you remember last episode, we did the whole difficulty selector thing. I'm super happy with how that turned out and everything. By the way, I did take the time and rename these from Compass to Dropper because that was annoying me. But more importantly, we now have the actual compasses that the players are going to get. I took a live stream and we went through, and all 24 lodestones on level 1 are now have compasses bound to them. Okay, and it's like, because they're all the same name, of course, so the players can't tell what they're getting, but like, this is compass number 1. This points to lodestone number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this is like 9 through 16. I'm only putting 8 in each dropper. I misspoke on the last video. And then these, you'll notice these are a different color because these right here, these are the 16 compasses you might get for choosing the easy difficulty. When you choose medium, you're going to choose from droppers 3 and 4, and we don't have level 2 stuff yet because level 2, or medium I should say, is split between droppers 3 and droppers 4. Again, these aren't done yet, but you'll see that's why the color code changed. The compasses are going to be color coded to the difficulty that they are associated with. One of the things I've been ridiculously excited about, and I've been putting off forever because we just haven't been ready, is this. And this is what's happening today. Today we're going to start actually programming, and that's what I call it because it sounds cool, but basically coding, programming, I don't know, whatever, making the redstone for each card and how it interacts with the game. So as a refresher, for those of you that weren't here a while ago when I made this, these big quartz white trays here, so over there are the trays for the permanent cards because they get processed first. And then right here are I call them trays, I guess. I don't know. This is a little area where I have, the capability of doing all the redstone for each of the cards. Okay. So every vertical slice is a different card indicator. Okay. And like, you can see how they have like a redstone block there. That slime block will lift up. And then, basically this area right here is going to get a signal for the card that's in that column, right? And then, so basically we have, in series of 4 here, there's four trays, I guess, that all relate to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the pattern repeats. And obviously the slime and the honey don't stick, and all the sliding and everything works great. So what I want to do is code the first card here, and it's going to be ridiculously easy. And this is going to be the sneak card. Now, I know that there are going to be other cards that interact with the sneak card, and they're going to want to be built adjacent to it for redstone reasons and stuff like that. So I'm going to choose, I want to choose an area that's close because sneak is going to be a very common card to be played. So having it be close is a good thing. I'm going to choose this second one right here. Okay. So now when the second slotted car or whatever, if this is gonna be sneak triggers, this redstone block will lift up, we'll get a signal here. So I mean, this is like the easiest one. All sneak does is, in fact, I just need to make this I need a pulse limiter, and there we go. That'll do. I think basically I just want to, when the redstone block lifts up, it'll power, and then when it unpowers, which is like a couple ticks later, it drops down. You can see how the rail just pulsed there. So now we're sending the signals kind of through rails for efficiency reasons. So what I need to do with this rail now is signal that red line, because the red line is the Clank triggered line. This is why we have this bus system. This is why we put the bus system right in front of all the card processors. All the cards now have full access to basically any event on the bus they want, and they can trigger whatever they want to make anything happen. And that's it. I mean, that's the first card programmed. That is sneak. Very easy. Of course, later on we're going to have more complicated ones, like cards that add 5 or 6 or 10 of something, and we're going to have like little systems there that turn one pulse into many ticks to that kind of thing. We'll get to those later, but the way I'm signaling these down the thing here and through the observers, through the tracks here, it's a little bit heavy on the observers, but I think it's very clean and space efficient, so I like that. So this red line goes through all these without affecting those guys and hits that rail over there, and then it goes down into the Clank processor over there. So all I want to do now is actually like label these, and I was just thinking this would be a great place. Wouldn't it be great to just have the hanging signs right now? Those, I think they're in 120 or whatever. I want to be able to hang a sign right there that says sneak on it, but I guess not. We will put it here, and I will say sneak, and let's see, we're going to give it a little bit of something, a little bit extra something there, so I know that this area here, what card we are processing. And up at the top here, we have all of these signs here that we added a long time ago. Hold on, let me just edit this sign here. Yeah, we don't have that yet. What I do want to do though is also, the second column is now the sneak cards. So when I have the sneak cards, it will replace this stick here, and that'll be the sorter, which will trigger the signal, and then it'll send the thing, and then boop, and then sneak, and everything's happy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and program the next 3 cards, the remaining common cards in the game. We have Treasure Hunter, Ember Seeker, and Stability. And we are back. Cards have been programmed. More work has been done. Let me show you what we got here. So the sneak one, pretty straightforward. This lifts up and pulses this thing. I did make a mistake in the last clip though, and I had it running to the red line. That's bad. That's the one that generates Clank. We don't want that. That's the one that all the shriekers are hooked up to. This card blocks Clank. So that's what the blue line is. That is the Clank blocker line. So anytime a card, or something else if I really wanted it to, wants to add blocked Clank, it triggers the blue line, and basically any future Clank that is generated will then be blocked. Up here on the top of the tray, we've got the Treasure Hunter, a little bit of extender here, and this guy pushes forward here, which does a little quick clock, and basically it makes 4 quick ticks that will go onto the yellow line, and that is the Q treasure line. Every time that's ticked, one more little piece of treasure will be added to the dungeon. And we have Ember Seeker. Again, these are all the very common cards, kind of starter cards. You'll replace them all once you get a good deck going. This is Ember Seeker. All it does is add 2 Frost Ember drops. That is the white line for queuing Frost Ember drops. It goes over there. And then we have Stability, which is another one pretty standard. It blocks hazard, and that is what is that pink or I can never tell. Magenta. The magenta line blocks hazard, so same thing as sneak basically. But let's be honest, overall these are very simple cards. They're going to get much more complicated as I have to start doing, adding memory circuits and things like that to keep track of systems and keep track of counters so that the cards react differently. The new cards I have some pretty interesting concepts in them, and these trays are definitely going to need to be expanded out. I question if I even have enough room. Okay, now it is time for some fun here. Okay, what we're going to do now is get some audio hooked up here. I've got 4 shulkers here. We've got shulker number 1. These are all audio of the sneak card. We have this one, which is all audio of the Ember Seeker card. These took a while, by the way. I'm just going to say we got Stability and we've got Treasure Hunter. We might have done a little bit of a voice acting audio recording session in live stream. It was comical. It was entertaining. You could check it out on my second channel as always. And yeah, we got a lot more of these to go though. So let's see what we got here. We went with the same effects we had last time. This is sneak.
Sneak.
It's just a simple word, but it does the job. We put those back there. We'll take a arbitrary Ember Seeker here.
Ember Seeker.
Again, these are all just me and my dumb voice. I know I'm not a professional voice actor, but it does the job, I think, with some effects.
Stability.
Got that one. And then the last one is Treasure Hunter.
Treasure Hunter.
So what I want to do now is take all of these guys here. We're going to go a doink, a doink, a doink, a doink. And we're now going to put them into the audio processor. So remember, each one of these slices is a processor for an individual card. I know the first one is stability. So let me grab all of these. And I want to start loading them. We're going to go, oh, wait. Those need to come out. All right, there we go. We got 9 discs there, 5 there, 9 more there, and there we go. And 4 there, because I only had 27 total. I think that adds up to 27. And I got a dummy item here, which is fine, actually, because we're never going to play more than 4 discs at a time. 2 for levels 1 and 2, and 2 for levels 3 and 4. So that item there should actually never even move. Okay, what else? I have also increased the main bus line, or at least that's what I call it, is the bus line. This is where I send all the signals in like a nice compact way through and around Decked Out. We've added another row on the bottom here. We got blue, we got magenta, we got cyan, and there will be a green one here eventually. And I'm going to put on the screen now my current bus line kind of allocation, if that makes sense. It's not, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, they're just kind of the way they are, and I just threw them in whatever. It could have been laid out a bit better and similar systems put next to each other, but that didn't happen. But what that has allowed me to do now is this. I've added these new systems here. I don't even know what I'm calling this. The localized event audio system. Basically what I've done here is added 5 banks of new music discs. Very simple. By the way, we're in 119.4 now, and with the new changes, as you probably know, jukeboxes and hoppers and stuff all changed. So like in vanilla now, you can have hoppers put discs into jukeboxes finally, which is amazing. And more importantly, and this is great actually, when it plays a music disc, the jukebox gives off a signal 15 redstone signal, so it automatically locks the hoppers below it and stuff. So you put a disc in, it plays, and when it's done, it automatically comes out. And I had to actually last night I had to like fix and redo the whole Clank processing system and everything. Not the processing, the Clank audio system had to be redone. Where is it? Yeah, that guy there had to be redone. But this is great. So what we've got here is 5 aligned disc systems here, where all I've got to do is just tick this dropper and it'll go boop, 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 and it'll play that audio disc, and when it's done, it'll loop back out. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be for things like when you block Clank, when hazard increases, or when hazard gets blocked, things that previously you wouldn't have had any notification for, you will now have notification. We're going to get some sounds here, and I've got 4 of them set up. I got one there, one right there, and one right there. Just look for those emerald blocks, and every time I've got these perfectly laid out so that they, their audio, because you can hear jukeboxes up to like 48 blocks away. I've spaced them out so that there's perfect overlap, and you can hear them throughout the dungeon. They're all synced up, all the timings and delays here. Everything is great. So all I just need to do is get some audio for these for now. Okay, I've got some super fancy temporary audio made, and I'm going to set up a little temporary clock here. That should do it, I think. Let me see if that's go.
Clank blocked.
It worked. Okay, let's go. Oh, hold on.
Clank blocked.
Is that the right time? Let's slow down a little bit. Let's speed it up. There we go.
Clank blocked. Clank blocked.
Oh, I love it. It's so bad. Okay, here we go. Let's fly around now
Blocked.
and see if it's synced up.
Clank blocked.
It's obviously going to be louder in some places than others.
Clank blocked.
This makes me so happy.
Clank blocked.
Blank block. I mean, eventually these won't be
Blank
words.
blocked.
I'm just going to get sound effects for these, I think, just so the players like
Blank
symbolically
blocked.
will know what's happening. It's for clank
Blank
block,
blocked.
clank block, clank blocked.
Clank blocked.
Oh, that sounded out of sync.
Clank blocked.
Oh, these are out of sync here.
Clank blocked.
Definitely out of sync here.
Clank blocked.
Yeah, it has a little homemade reverb.
Clank blocked.
Okay, now the hazard line, I'm going to turn this one on.
Hazard up.
Oh, it works. It just works magically. I love it. This is great. I love it when systems just magically start working the way they're actually supposed to. Let me change some of the timings here to speed it up a little bit, I think. Take a little bit more out.
Hazard up.
Hazard up. Sounds are so bad, but they're temporary again. We'll have better ones later. Now the last one, if I just take some hazard block
up.
and throw it in there, it should switch from hazard up to...
Hazard up.
Maybe not.
Hazard blocked.
Hazard blocked. Oh, yeah.
Hazard blocked.
Oh, that's so satisfying. And every time we get the hazard blocked,
Hazard blocked.
counts down 1. And then when we're all done with hazard being
Hazard
blocked,
blocked.
the next one should automatically go back to hazard up or not. Hello? Oh, right. Because there's a chance over here.
Hazard up.
There it is. Yeah, there's a 1/3 chance it was failing right there. I forgot. Okay. Oh, this is so good. It's all working. Actually, well, there's kind of a problem here because the hazard up announcement is only happening once it passes the initial 1/3 test here. And technically it shouldn't. Technically it should be like right here or something because I do like a 1/3 test here and then a 1/6 test at all the nodes. So you're only going to hear about 1/3 of the hazard ups. I don't want to dedicate a whole new bus line for that. We got to figure this out. All right, so I'm sitting here thinking about it actually, and now in the new cards, I have no card that adds hazard, so hazard will only go up over time. I'm wondering now, and maybe this is me just trying to look for an easy way out, but I'm wondering maybe I don't even need hazard up notification because it happens consistently and on a timer that's, probably every 30 seconds or something like that. And people will notice that hazard is going up by how many of the doors and things like that in the dungeon are closing off. So it almost seems redundant. On the other hand, though, knowing that you blocked hazard is important to know that the cards you're playing are working and stuff. But I think I'm just going to kill the hazard up sound. On a completely different note, I've set up a simple clock here. And the design I'm going with here is whenever the game is on, treasure is automatically released into the dungeon at a slow kind of trickle. So treasure cards aren't necessary to get a key now, but they will definitely help you. And I'm definitely going to be certain to monitor this duration and stuff because I want to be able to, very much control how much treasure is put in there by default. I don't want this to be too much. I don't want it to be too little. Okay, it is almost time. I believe almost everything is done, and we're almost ready to do a test run, a zero threat test run, I like to call it. The only thing left to do is I gotta fill the dungeon with the things behind me. I just spent quite some time going through and making a whole ton of, these are now the official coins, decked out coins right here. We have decked out crowns. I might still change out this art. I'm not sure if I want it to look like an actual crown or look like a better coin. This one's up for debate, but I can change the art out without having to redo all of these. But anyways, we have all of our crowns now, 4 shulkers of crowns. We have all of the embers. I'm probably just going to leave this one. I kind of like this art. 4 shulkers full of frost embers. And then we have the keys for level 1. They're all called level 1. I may eventually have 4 different art styles for different keys, but right now it's just going to be 1 and they're going to be named differently. If I get energetic, I'll make different keys or something like that. We'll see. Maybe just tint them or something. But I have to load up all the treasure hoppers with coins, crowns, and keys, and all of the frost ember hoppers, not dropper words. You know what I have to do. It is done. It is done. All of the treasure and ember droppers have been filled. It took a while. So I lied about the artifacts though. Okay. So I previously had, these were my artifacts before here. I was using blaze powder because it glows and stuff. I'm using iron ingots now. So the sad part is all of these artifacts that I spent making and giving cool names and color code and everything, I got to do it all again. So here's the deal. We don't have real artifacts today. We will soon. The art is done. I just got to hook them all up and everything, but I really want to get this test in, and we don't have real cards today. So those are coming soon as well. Also, the art's going to be coming very soon. So here's the deal. These are my temp cards. I have these cards. I have Sneak, Treasure Hunter, Ember Seeker, and Stability. So I'm actually going to put in 2 of each of these into my deck, and we're gonna make a run. Okay, so let's be 100% clear here. This is not gonna work. This is not gonna work even close to working. This is literally this first step of debugging about 1 billion systems. So the process is gonna be run it, see what went wrong. Fix it, run it again, see what went wrong. And there's gonna be a lot of that, and we'll see what happens here. So we're definitely doing an easy run, and I've got my shulker here. We're gonna do a replay mod of this, so I think when everything's wrong, I can get on replay mod and see what went wrong and watch all the systems, I think. So here we go. We'll see if this even works. Boom. Okay, and it's been on a minecart. The chest, by the way, those from the stream, I fixed that. There was a delay in the ticker. All right, here we go. Boom, go. I should have fixed the audio. There's the audio. Minecarts are super loud. I'll turn minecart volume down. Minecart, I don't know which one that is. Anyway, here we go, and we're in. There's my compass.
Hazard locked.
Hazard blocked. Okay. Oh, that's right. I gotta fix the door.
Plank locked. Plank locked.
I don't think anything's working. Okay, oh, I forgot to turn the hazard down. The hazard is super aggressive. If I remember correctly, it's on. Oh, that's treasure dropping right there. That's treasure dropping. I feel like all the cards already played. Okay. All right, we got a little bit of clank. Oh, I heard a tick. I heard a tick. Did the treasure... Oh, the key! Oh my gosh, we got a key on our first try. Okay, that should not happen, but it did. Clank is way high. We're at like maximum clank here. Okay, I've got a bug in that system. I totally like redid the whole clank system, so... Clank is a problem. Clearly, the heartbeat is up. Totally not working. Let's see if we can find a little bit more treasure. I haven't heard too many dings, though. Interesting, you don't hear the heartbeat that well over here. It's kind of quiet. That makes me want to go to the back of the dungeon here. We're gonna cheat. Oh, we cheated. Interesting. I think the heartbeat... The fact that I'm not even hearing a heartbeat out here is a problem. And I think one of the segments isn't playing correctly. Maybe. I mean, we're at maximum clank right now, so there's obviously a problem with the clank system. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a coin dropped right there. That's good. Okay, I have some obvious things that are very wrong with clank and hazard. They're both totally capped out right now. We're basically at max hazard now too, I think. We're getting tons of clank. See if there's anything up there. Nope, nothing up there. All right, by the way, I should look at my compass. Where's that? Oh, did we get lucky and get one right? I think it's in that room right there. Let's go around. I feel like it's in this room right here. Yes, it is. Okay, this. There, okay. So you hear that click? That would have been the artifact if I had loaded those up. And then I would make my way. Let's go see if the door opens with our key. Not that we need to go to level 2, but I just want to see if it's going to work. Okay, we're in here now. The doors are closed. Treasure's still dropping. I think there's a treasure spot back here. Nothing dropped back here. There should be more treasure too. I might have to look into that. But anyway, let's throw our key in. Yes. Okay, both doors should be open. Let me just double check the other one. Done. All right. Excellent. Okay. I mean, honestly, that's kind of how I expected the first run to go. Everything's a complete mess. Aha, problem number 1. Okay, yeah, this is a new system I put in today, and it was a means to be able to trigger clank super fast, but still throttle the rate at which I sent it to the clank system. And you can see this line right here. I am bud powering that dropper, so the items in here are never leaving, and clank is just instantly going to maximum. Fix this. And of course, I forgot to reattach my redstone that I took away when I was testing. And would you look at that? There's my deck of cards. It never even got unloaded because there's a stupid piece of dye right in there, probably when I was doing redstone on the system that breaks the shulker box and sends them to the water stream. We probably got a spare piece of dye right in there. Okay, test number 2, I fixed a whole ton of stupid little mistakes because, you know, that's how it goes in the beginning here. So I think this run might go a little bit better. I have 1 card of each in there now, so there's only 4 cards in my deck. Here we go. Got the audio working a little bit better now. I turned friendly. My cards are on friendly creatures, apparently, for whatever reason. They should have their own audio channel. Come in here. The door should work. Cool. Cool. The door should work. Why does the door work? Where's my audio for my door? Come on. Maybe there were too many sounds playing. Let me go over here. Close. Okay, the close works. Maybe there was just too many because there is a maximum number of sounds that Minecraft can play at once. Oh, and there's the first card, Ember Seeker. Okay. I also turned the hazard back down to normal levels, so it shouldn't be going crazy now. I'm gonna try and generate some clank here. There we go. That's my first clank. I did not have a sneak card out, so it should not have been blocked. And the absence of any
Treasure hunter.
Great, treasure hunter. The absence of any notification means that the sneak was not blocked, or the shrieker was not blocked. All right, where's my compass say? My compass points to, I think it's over on that far side. Cheaty, jump with Elytra. Look at all these stupid bats. And for those wondering, no, bats do not trigger the shriekers. Shriekers don't.
Sneak clank blocked.
Yeah. Okay, the fact that clank was blocked immediately when sneak was played seems odd because I wasn't generating clank here, so I'll have to look into that. And there's a sneak only blocks one clank, so we did get a blocked clank, but it seemed like it was inappropriate or not correct or something.
Stability.
Okay, so now we should get
Hazard
blocked. Just coincidence the timer was up there maybe. We gotta go inside the crypt. That's the problem, is a lot of times you can't figure out where your thing is. Like, even if you know the level, you can't tell where your compass is pointing. It looks like it's up on the second floor over here, I'm guessing.
Hazard blocked.
Okay, there's a hazard blocked. Did we get this one? Oh, here we go. Right, it's this one right here. And click. That would have been my artifact if I had my artifacts in the game right now. Generating a ton of clank right now. I might... Oh. See, this is the problem too. I really, this drives me nuts, but once you generate a clank from a shrieker, it continues to generate more clank, and I could change that so that it like closes itself off. I think, so much clank is being generated in here. There might be too many shriekers in this middle area here. That's insane how much clank is generated. Okay, but it played the 4 cards. And it's done. And like right now it would be playing that. What I want to do is like add an extra noise that when the cards are gone, it kind of plays another noise, like a your deck is empty noise, like a little kind of thing. Obviously something more appropriate, but something to let you know, look at all the clank we're generating here going through there. Yeah, possibly too much clank being generated. But again, this is part of the design process. It's totally fine. Heartbeat is going crazy right now. Looks like hazard. I turned hazard down to once every 30 seconds and it didn't generate hardly any closed doors here. So we'll see. We gotta run a lot of tests, and we made it out with our artifact. And now the best part is the cards should be getting shuffled back into my deck, and they should be getting sent up to the surface. So let's head up there. Normally, like next episode, we're gonna have a system that brings you back up to the surface, but let's fly up there manually right now. And our deck should be appearing here shortly. There, oh, excellent. There it is. And it has 4 cards. Bonus. Okay, well, I mean, it's a little rough around the edges, obviously, but I gotta say, that went pretty well. Most of the systems are in place. Trust me, guys, any concerns you have about things being totally out of whack or imbalanced, I will absolutely get to them. We are going to balance this thing perfectly before it's live. We're not even close yet. All this next week is going to be me tweaking things and making sure everything is working exactly as it should.